Hello, and welcome back to the stream. Last stream, we managed to get our Bard and Warrior Pebble, even though Warrior is more of a Barbarian class. And this stream, we are looking to get our Black Mage and Sorcerer class, as the title of the stream portrays. Betrays one of those. So anyway, let's get into the game. Wait a minute. Game scene. Pause the music. Click the thing. Widen the thing. Get all the stuff out of the way. Okay. Thankfully, Thaumaturge is one of those classes that doesn't lose anything of value from its level 15 quest. And yeah, Mana Ward, but you only need Mana Ward when you're like fighting Titan or something. Kokobuki! My first scepter, Guildmaster Kokobuki, wishes to test the limits of your thaumaturgical aptitude. Okay. The scepter well complements the avid desire for destructive power written upon your features. Now we shall complete your initiation with a trial to test the limits of your aptitude for channeling thaumaturgy. Huge hornets, star marmots, and snapping shrews inhabit this land in abundance. Exercise your sorcerer's might and slay 3 of each of these creatures before returning to my side. Okay. Simple enough. Kill the basic things, come back. Go and ask for a more simple job. And I know these are in the central Thanalan. State of Nald. Yes, of course. Fantastic. Okay, Star Marmot, you will be the first to fall. And you will be the second Huge Hornet. And another Star Marmot. Ah. Will the AoE get anything else from this? No. No, it will not. It should now, though. Ah. Oh. Power of ice. E. Snapping shrews are next up. Come on, AoE. Dang it. You know what? I'm just gonna stop using the AoE. I'm just gonna start using the single target. Done. Fantastic. That's a loud spacebar, cheese. Okay, back to Kokobuki. Let's see what he has to say. Oh no, Kokobuki. Whoops. Thaumaturge's Guild. Whee! How many different Kokos are even here? Kokobuki, Koko Bezzy, Kokoboha, Kokobaigo, Kokobani. Not take your eyes off the victim. Off your victim. Ah. Kokobuki. You have the satisfied look of a mage who has utterly vanquished his foes. Brother, I formally welcome you into the Brotherhood of Thaumaturges. The purpose of this trial was to gauge your capacity for wielding thaumaturgy, an innate quality the limits of which are bound by the level of etheric energy flowing through your physical being. Ether, the very stuff of life, exists within all living creatures to a greater or lesser extent. Remember this, for it is the most basic law of arcane manipulation. As your experience grows, so shall your reserves of thaumaturgical endurance. The wellspring of your magical might will also swell in response to moments of extreme terror and duress. When you find yourself seeking greater challenge, when next you crave the thrill of exquisite fear, that is when you shall know the time has come for you to visit me once more. Yay. Hey, I've done the thing. Your burgeoning power strains against the confines of your untried mortal shell. Another trial you must have. From this day forth, your tasks and challenges will be shaped by the teachings found within Thaumaturgy, the Yawning Abyss, a tome penned by the renowned thaumaturge Zozomaya. My brothers, who have not once tasted the bitter draught of defeat, will instruct you on the vital lessons to be gleaned from the 4 extensive chapters that comprise this exemplary work. Much shall you learn about the threats with which a practitioner of our art must contend. The first chapter, The Threat of Intimacy, falls within Coco Baigo's purview. It is only fitting that one so averse to being approached should teach you the wisdom of the uncovered therein. Coco Baigo. Yes, brother. I've been expecting you. Allow me to read to you the pertinent passages from the opening chapter of Zozomaya's Guide. Ahem. The Threat of Intimacy. Ah, how magnificent the potent power we wield. Roaring flames, piercing ice, and shocking bolts are matched not by fist or sword or spear. I don't know about sword. I'm pretty sure samurai does the most damage in the game. But the burly warrior waxes fearsome with every closing step. Fists shatter bone, blades slide through flesh, spears puncture soft bellies. Know you this threat, and stand you apart from such men. Shiver. Ugh. The last part makes me queasy no matter how often I recite it. The lesson, however, should be obvious. Keep your distance from your foes. Apart from the agony of being hit, or stabbed, or worse, you'll have a devil of a time completing an incantation with an enemy flailing his weapons at your person. Thus, the wise thaumaturge always strikes from afar. The further, the better. Now let us proceed with your trial. Take this dried fish and set it down in the vicinity of the Silver Bazaar. Next, simply draw back to a comfortable distance and wait for a vulture to swoop in to feed. That's when you ambush the nasty creature with a barrage of deadly spells. Once you have slain the scavenger, be sure to retrieve a generous slice of vulture meat for Fafafono. He doesn't mind us conducting trials so close to his shop, so long as he's properly compensated. Yes, brother, we pay him in sorcery blasted bird flesh. Nice. Talk about a barbecue. Oh my goodness, 4th of July would be so much cooler if we had thaumaturgy. You could set off your own fireworks. Woo! Yay! Bird. Let's go, bird. Now over here. Do. Yarzons and rock sprites. A fate? I don't want to do the fate. Yo, a slime. A sewer syrup. Delicious. I'll take some sewer syrup on my, aqueduct pancakes. Thank you very much. Dried fish. The heat of the Thanalan sun only makes the odor of this long-dead waifkin that much more unbearable. Ugh. Disgusting. And wait over here. Destination achieved. A circling vulture is dead. Take the bird over here. It wasn't really close to a shop. Not really. You know, it was close to the hammers, but I wouldn't really classify that as a shop. Chocobo Keep. Hello, good sir. I do not want Chocobo Porter. Thank you very much. Hello, Kiki Poo, how you doing? Phono. You're done making use of my testing grounds, are you? Cough up the fee, then. Ultra breast tender white meat suited for sautés. Tastes remarkably like chocobo. Everything tastes like chocobo. Hee, there's nothing so tender as a bit of meat pummeled with wonton wizardry. Nice doing business with you, thaumaturge. Did you say thaumaturge? Has this major just completed a guild trial? Ah, Master Alchemist, what brings you out to our bazaar this fine evening? The gentleman here just slew himself a plump vulture. You'd be surprised at how many of these scepter-wielding sorcerers end up sliced to ribbons by beak and talon. That's not the sort of flesh I have a taste for, you understand. My brothers, not again! Damn it! Run away! We'll walk away. Who knows? Back to Will die go. Wee. Goodbye. Ooh, loading screens. There we go. Pumpkin. Thaumaturge's Guild. Away. Run up here, turn in the quest, everything's all hunky-dory. Someone's playing Triple Triad, nice. We'll go by go. I've done the thing. Welcome back, brother. You seem to have done well. Both eyes intact. Face appears unshredded. It truly is the most terrible feeling to have one's casting interrupted by a heinous injury. One of the easier trials, if you ask me. Keep well away from pointy, slashy, bashy things if you want to reach the end of an arcane utterance. That's just common sense. Fortune favors the fighter who flings fire from afar. I simply love the look of loathing leveled at me by the distant duelist distressed by my deadly downpour. Yo, alliteration. This is so much this is awesome. I'm liking this questline more and more. Cringe. We thaumaturges excel at offense, but fail miserably at defense. Our most effective strategy is to topple our adversaries with overwhelming force before they have a chance to respond. Honor is for knights. And dead mages. That makes sense. Brother, your studies appear to be progressing nicely. It won't be long before you dominate the battlefield as an avatar of sorcerous destruction. No, sorcery is another job. So it's true, Buki. Don't try to hide from me, Baigo. Or you, Bonnie. Or Bezzy. Or Boha. Coco Boosie. I knew I remembered one of their names, right? What are you doing here? You promised you would teach me next. Well, yes, of course we did, Boosie, but brother here was most insistent. Sniffle, and once again you brush me aside in the hope that I abandon my heart's desire. Why do you deny me? I hate you, all of you. Please, Boosie, you shouldn't say such hurtful things. You know how delicate Pygo is. Cough. That was Coco Boosie, our youngest brother. He so dearly wishes to become a thaumaturge like the rest of us, but it simply isn't possible. The poor boy's etheric levels are pitifully low. We thought we had convinced him to accept fate's cruel quirks when he entered the Alchemist's Guild, but he yet yearns to walk the path of thaumaturgy. Such is Coco Boosie's determination that he spends all his waking moments experimenting with alchemical concoctions, seeking a method by which he can expand his capacity for arcane manipulation. Ahem. Well, this is obviously not your concern. Back to the abyss with you, young thaumaturge. I mean that in the most encouraging manner possible. Money! This is the level 10 quest, The Threat of Paucity. Guildmaster Kokobuki wishes you to learn from the second chapter of Thaumaturgy, The Yawning Abyss. Yes, brother, yes. The aura of power surrounding you is palpable. The glare begins to blind my thaumaturge's eye. Your lesson today shall be taught by Kokobani. Go to him and hear from the chapter entitled The Threat of Paucity. Okay. Kokobani. Excuse me. Aha, so brother, you've come to learn at the foot of the third eldest brother, have you, while drinking a water bottle? I promise you, however, your education shall not be third rate. Let us read from the second chapter, shall we? Are you settled? No last moment trips to the privy? Very well. The threat of paucity. Ah, how magnificent the ruthless power we wield. Flame devours, ice entombs, and lightning courses through the stricken bodies of our foes. But oh, such desperation when the wellspring runs dry. Flame sputters out, ice melts into slush, and lightning sparks no longer. Know you this threat, and mind you the limits of your mortal vessel. A terrifying thought, isn't it? A thaumaturge who has exhausted his arcane reserves is not but a man with a stick and a funny hat. For we mages, you may as well equate the etheric energy flowing through our veins with our very lifeblood. Should a battle find us lacking in this precious resource, we are as good as dead. Controlling the expenditure of your power requires an understanding of etheric balance. The scales can tip in one of two directions, astrally or umbrally. When your mind and spirit lean in an umbral direction, your thaumaturgy is affected by a state known as umbral ice. The potency of your spells is diminished, but they also require less energy to invoke. On the other hand, a thaumaturge in the astral fire state will find the potency of incantations enhanced, but at a greater cost to his etheric stamina. Excuse me. Now, with this concept of etheric balance and efficient casting foremost in your mind, I bid you go forth and slay 8 Fs. Pray do your best to stay alive. It reflects badly on me when the mauled corpse of one of my pupils is returned to the ossuary. Oh my goodness. Note to self, most thaumaturges don't make it past level 10. Western Thanalan, really? Central Thanalan, okay. Up there. Gate of Nald. Go, bird, go! Woo! You know, for a desert, oh, I guess oases are a thing, aren't they? Oh, and there's a geyser, so this area is somewhat volcanic in nature. Explains why there's so much greenery. Doesn't explain why there's so much greenery over here where there's no water. I expect there to just be rocks. And like maybe the stray shrub next to a cactus. But no, they're apparently everywhere. That's not how deserts work, but yeah. Whatever. Enough. Prepare yourself. Aha! Oh, dang it. Well, I don't have any astral up, so I can only expect that to happen. Haha, fire! Are you serious? It takes 2? Ugh. Da-da-da-da. Yeah. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Okay, so thunder, then fire. Oh, enhanced thundercloud. Ha-ha! I got the ice to regen my mana. Or my MP. My bad. Run all the way over here. Slaughter these things. Thunder. Fire. Fire 2. Oh, it died. No fire 2 for me. Thunder. Into fire. Ha ha! Woo! Feared. And I'm just gonna teleport back because I can. I have the money. I have the money, might as well use it. I don't leave. No, excuse me. I don't think I really go that far into Thanalan in this quest line, so it's gonna be like 97 gil every time. Doo-doo-doo. Aha, Coco Bonnie, I've done the thing. Aha, you arrived before me upright and breathing. Wonderful! It is so much simpler to pose questions to a student without having to resort to necromantic divination. Tell me, brother, what action would you take if you found your thaumaturgical endurance exhausted in the midst of battle? Run away? Brandish my scepter as a club. Yes, the scepter is certainly a lethal instrument of death. Your death, you valorous fool! Remember the first chapter, we do not close distance with our enemies. And we certainly do not hit them with our finely crafted tools of thaumaturgy. Pray consider replenishing your energies with a vial of ether before humiliating yourself in melee combat. Ah, ether, the drought of the gods. We thaumaturges, indeed any who practice the arts of arcane manipulation, value this substance above all others. Thus it was with unbridled fury that we received the most recent report of beastman activity. It seems an Amalja raiding party has attacked a caravan on the trade routes and made off with an entire crate of precious ether. The time has come for you to put your new knowledge to the test. Annihilate these Amalja bandits and retrieve the cargo of ether-filled as one of those filled vials. According to the report, their armor war transport was last spotted to the south of Drybone. And I believe Kokobuki has an additional request. While you are busy incinerating Amalja, be sure to collect some samples of their blood, assuming you can draw any from their smoking remains. Yeah, okay, seems simple enough. Drybone, away! You know what? I really should get around to going to the Blue Fog Camp Blue Fog. Because I'm gonna have to go there eventually. So slow. Oh man, if only there was a quest I could start that would allow me to go faster in this area. Oh well. Ah, yes. Purple. Armored War Transport. Oh, let's see what's in it. Do-do-do. Oh no, Amalja, whatever am I gonna do? Fire. More fire. Fire for you as well. Aha! I win. And we're transporting blood from the Amalja. Crate of ether. Yay! And once again, back to Steps of Knoll. Costs 140 gil this time. Oof. Da-da-da. Ethernet. Ethernet. Thaumaturgers Guild. Whee! Do-do-do. Oh. I have gotten the blood and the crate of ether. Do I detect the scent of the ether? I trust that stench is Amalja blood. Ether crate, a sturdy wooden crate filled with bottles of ether and copious amounts of packing hay. Amnesia blood, this malodorous lifeblood is so dark a red, it almost appears black. Nice. Why do we need Amnesia blood? Oh ho, 10 vials, 20, 30. The sight of so much ether is just so very comforting. What have we here, Coco Bonnie? Is this the crate that was stolen? I see brother's lessons have had the desired effect. I will assume the vile, viscous liquid you have there is beastman blood. Coco Boost, you should be pleased. Coco Boogie, you left word for me to visit the ossuary. Have you finally decided to begin my training in thaumaturgy? Coco Boosie, good of you to come. Brother here was kind enough to obtain a sample of a supply of Amnesia blood for you. An alchemist acquaintance of mine explained how you had been using the substance in your research to create a mana-amplifying elixir. Naturally, we are most interested in the results of such experiments. So you see, Boozy, your work as an alchemist already puts you in a position to work alongside us. You didn't become a thaumaturge to be part of our family. That's right, Boozy. Besides, the battlefield is a dangerous place, and our skills are not exactly suited to keeping others safe from harm. I see. So this is but another attempt to dissuade me from pursuing my true calling. I do not want to cheer you on from the safety of my workbench. I want to fight at your side. Babushi, we just cannot stand the thought of you being harmed. Pray do not do anything foolish. Sigh. I do apologize, brother. I sometimes forget how difficult it must be not having a natural aptitude for the arcane arts. Oh yeah, just shove it in your younger brother's face, why don't you? As I mentioned before, brother, Coco Boosie is dangerously unsuited to the wielding of thaumaturgy. Even with the proper training, he would be unable to cast magics as we can. Were he to attempt to force a manifestation of power, the strain on his etheric reserves would likely kill him. Let us not dwell on this unpleasant circumstance, for you, on the other hand, are brimming with thaumaturgic potential. Unlike my younger brother, who can't even light a candle, remain diligent in your studies, and do not cease in your efforts to expand your wellspring of power, unlike you. Bruh. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I feel that. Oh. Oof. Oh. You want to do a thing, but you're not capable of doing the thing. Big sad. Boogie Boogie, what you got? The threat of superior. Oh, yay. Scaife? Come, brother, the yawning abyss beckons once more. Today, Coco Bezzy will instruct you from the chapter entitled The Threat of Superiority. Don't get too big for your britches now. You're come for your lesson, brother. Then heed well my words. The threat of superiority. Ah, how magnificent the intimidating power we wield. Flames sear the air, ice frosts the ground, and lightning flashes with blinding incandescence. But not all are cowed by our elemental fury. Ignite not your flames, summon not your ice, and strike not with your lightning. Know you this threat, and stay your hand against such foes. Once you cut away all the overblown imagery, the passage draws attention to an important tactic. A wise thaumaturge does not engage in battle against opponents he cannot defeat. A fine example would be avoiding conflict with Uldah's multitude of furious merchants. These soulless, ravening creatures are afflicted with the madness of insatiable avarice. Do you perhaps recall the creative ether you retrieved from the Amnesia bandits? Well, a number of irate peddlers have arrived at the guild with the gall to demand recompense for the few measly vials we emptied as our just reward. Alright, yes, we drank the entire bloody box, but the point is that the guild cannot presently afford to pay such a sum. Thus I pass on to you the secret of my last and most potent defense. Shameless weeping. I'm not speaking of a few tears here. I want you to try to ride up to these tyrannical traitors and cry your eyes out. Ah. Yes, of course. Beg for your life. Oh my goodness, this quest line is amazing. Ranting merchant, raging merchant, raving merchant. Ranting, raving, and raging. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. Did your mother never teach you that a merchant's to be paid for his wares? Thaumaturge, what manner of guild are you running here? Do you simply loot and pillage the goods of fine, upstanding citizens as you see fit? Hey, you aether-swilling miscreant, where's the gil you owe me? Ranting, raving, and raging. Cry. You weep in sorrow before the ranting merchant. It's not that. Oh dear, I'm not angry at you, you understand. It's those 5 ether-addled brothers I take issue with. You tell them the next time this happens, I'll have the price taken out of their unprincipled hides. Cry. Oh my goodness, the sorrow. Why are you yelling at me, good sir? Well, you needn't cry about a few vials of ether, lad. I'll tell you what, you dry your eyes for me and I'll take care of the loss out of me own purse. Raging! The sorrow. My grievances. All right, son. I know you're the one who chased down those Amalja brutes for us. I'll let go this one time, for your sake. Thanks, guys. Woo! The power of crocodile tears. A masterful performance, brother. The sniffling was a nice touch. You will, however, encounter foes who are unmoved by such piteous wailings. Take this recent request, for instance, which I have nominated to serve as your next trial. Ah, my eye. There's an eyelash. A team of scholars has asked for a thaumaturge to destroy a cursed relic they unearthed known as Mormo's urn. It's said to have some water in it. While pottery is, by and large, immune to tears, it is the Alacran thieves that subsequently stole that concern me. The Alacran are an organization of criminals not normally known for their gentle or understanding dispositions. Yeah, I had to deal with them to get my paladin pebble. Rather than attempting to engage an entire gang of their thugs, I'd suggest you neutralize the threat to your person with a well-timed sleep spell. The Alacran have been seen traveling in the southeast of Drybone. Find them and destroy the urn they carry. Banalan! Wee to Drybone, away! Wee! Let's go! This way. Go, bird, go! Fast as the wind, my noble steed! Up, up. See the threat of superiority. Right there. Past the Amalja camp. Amalja encampment, yep. Hit the rocks, jump on the rocks, jump off the rocks. Dusty mongrels, I killed 7 of you. Billy Goats, I'm gonna have to kill a bunch of you for your hides when I want to level up leatherworking. But you want to level up the gathering classes first so that you can gather all the prerequisite materials by yourself. Become utterly self-sufficient, yes. Okay, let's see the destination. We have arrived. Let's see what we gotta do with this. Level 19. Sure. 11 levels up. Gotta get skilled on Diligence of the Alacran. Lightning. Fire. More fire. Even more fire. Swift cast the fire. Fire. Yeah. Dang it. Aha. Gotcha that time. Diligence of the Alacran again. Lightning. Fire! Pelt him with fire! Sneaky bastards. Hey! I am a mage, I'm not sneaky at all. Actually quite obvious, I'll have you know. Back to ice. Ah! Lightning! Back to fire! Oh! That's what it means. I put you to sleep and I handle you one at a time. Yes. Ingenious, I know. I can actually take the yes, haha. When you're Adol, you deal less damage and swift casted fire. Haha. There's no way you can deal with my magical aptitude. I restore my mana again. Yeah, the first time I did this quest line, I didn't kill all of them. I just put them to sleep and went to get the urn. And when I was done with the urn, they all woke up and tried to kill me. Mormo's urn. Let's see what's in this one. Brother, a moment if you please. Pray allow me to shatter that urn. Okay. I thought that if I assisted you with your task, that my brothers might finally deign to take me seriously. So I followed you. You shouldn't have done that. This is a trial for me. What have we got here then? A couple of noisy sand rabbits that are about to get skinned. What? Oh. Oh joy. Oh dear gods, where do they come from? They came from that cave. Sleep. I'm gonna take care of you first, Magic Man. Kokobusi the Cross. Are you injured? I have a salve for that. Oh, do you now? Slide cast away. Leave me alone, please. Dang it. Oh, there's another one. I got no mana. Dang it. Hang on. Hang on. 1 minute. There we go. You're as good as dead. Oh, dang it, another one. Oh, there's another one. Somewhere. I'm not sure where. There he is, up there. Lightning. Ice. More ice. Fire. You will rue the day. Oh, I won. But yeah, if you don't kill them all before this area, they all wake up and they bomb rush you. That was simply incredible, brother. I wish I could wield the same sort of power. Power, you say? I became an alchemist in the hopes of creating some manner of mana-amplifying elixir, but all my efforts have been for naught. The results have been far too mild to make any difference. I'll never be a thaumaturge like my brothers at this rate. I'll forever be the pitiful, powerless little sibling. Little baby brother. Big sad. Well, you wanted to break the urn, though, so... Mormos urn. If I destroy it, then maybe my family will see what I'm capable of. Wait! Don't you dare break my urn! Ah, what the... That piece of pottery just talk? Are you Mormo the Void Sent? Demons! Fuck! I hate demons! Well, yes, I am Mormo, but I'm one of the nice voids. Sure you are. A nice voice. It was the nasty ones that sealed me up in here for helping a mortal. If you would be so kind as to open the lid of my urn, I would be happy to grant you a wish. Anything you desire. Fortune, fame. Don't fall for I'm not really interested in fame or fortune. But perhaps there is one thing, you fucking idiot. I like to have etheric power to equal that of my brothers. Oh my good. Power it is. Power, is it? A perfectly acceptable wish. In fact, I sense the latent ability buried deep within your spirit. It will be a simple thing for me to turn it loose. No, it won't, guy. Don't fucking trust it. What more is there to think about? Open the lid. Oh my. Don't you Why am I just standing there like an idiot? Break it, don't open it, break it. You're playing with fucking Luigi boards, boy. Even I know this is a bad idea. No, stop. Well, I don't feel different at all. I think Mormo may have been lying. You think? Come, brother, it is time we were leaving. Oh, weren't we supposed to break this urn? And that is that. Yes, this will be such fun. I mean, it will be nice to return home after all of this. This is why I fucking hate demons. Fucking demons. Okay, back to Thanalan. Love how my character just stood there with a thumb up his ass. Oh, but I guess the story wouldn't happen without an inciting incident now, wouldn't it? Ugh. Okay. Coco Bezzy, I've done the thing. Well, I didn't do the thing, your brother did the thing. Welcome back, brother. I'm glad to see you making a habit out of not dying. Yeah, I would have assumed that would be a nice habit to have. Before we discuss your trial further, however, I would ask you about Kokobushi. When I saw him but a few moments ago, he seemed odd. Well, odder than usual. Would you happen to know aught of it? Yeah. Kokobushi joined me at my trial. Bushi was at your trial? Yeah, he was. It is extraordinarily dangerous and foolish to interfere with a thaumaturge's training. I shall have to scold him most heartily. Sigh. Such unpleasantness aside, I am impressed that you claimed victory in spite of this unexpected development. The teachings of the Yawning Abyss have served you well. With your experience and control thus demonstrated, I believe you are ready to add a new spell to your repertoire. Skaith! This elementally neutral blast of force will prove effective against all manner of opponents. Yeah, but it sucks. As I'm sure you are eager to test this incantation's efficacy, I shall grant you leave to return to your training. I pity the next hostile creature that crosses your path. I don't. The spell's useless. Fucking Skaith. Woo! Yeah, I learned Skaith. Yay! And with that, I will be right back. Hang on. Some music. And done. have returned! Hang on. Bop, bop. There we go. Coco Boogie, the threat of perplexity. Guildmaster Coco Boogie wishes you to learn from the next chapter of Thaumaturgy, the Yawning Abyss. Water. Brother, you're safe. I feared you had fallen victim to the Mage Slayer. Have you not heard of the recent spat of gruesome killings taking place within Ul'dah? Each case involves at least one dead thaumaturge, and every corpse is found bloody, battered, and utterly drained of etheric energy. Oh no! Ill tidings aside, I'm glad to see you alive and glowing with vitality. It is time for you to delve into the final chapter of the Yawning Abyss. Coco Boha, our second youngest sibling, will read to you from the Threat of Perplexity. Threat of Perplexity? What is so perplexing that can be a threat? I have no idea. Not the foggiest, maybe that's the threat. Bwahaha! Greetings, brother! Are you once more prepared to pursue the pages of power and peril? Then let us begin! Yes, the alliteration! Let's go! The threat of perplexity. Ah, how magnificent the daunting power we wield. Flames pursue, ice transfixes, and lightning dances into the ranks of our enemies. Excuse me, but what terror descends when, from all sides, those ranks close? Flames are smothered, ice crushed, and lightning grounded. Know you this threat, and wear you the multitudinous foe. That's a word. Is the point of this passage readily apparent? It would be most problematic. For example, should you meet this malefic mage slayer and he or she proves to be multiple murderers. What a thaumaturge needs is a thick-set thrall, or courageous companion to accompany him in cases where collective cronies are expected. Now, as for your trial, Coco Boha, pray allow me to suggest a practical course for brothers training. Sure. The town is buzzing with the news of yet more slaughtered thaumaturges. The mutilated bodies found fouling the waters of Nofika's wells. I would have brother aid me in hunting down the culprit while the trail is yet fresh. Brother may have tolerated your interruption of his trial the last time, Boozy, but you are hardly the hardy henchman he needs to clear such a hazardous hurdle. Your concerns are understandable, brother. If it would allay your fears, I can introduce brother to a valiant warrior who recently entered my employ. You have secured the services of a stalwart swordsman. Then that would indeed be in line with learning the lesson of the day. Perhaps. Come now, brother. Let us be about our business before Coco Boha has a change of heart. I'll be waiting for you in Nofika's wells. Was that Coco Boozy? Was it? Was it really? Suspicious. I don't like this, not one bit. Ethernet! Gate of the Sultana, away! Because that's where Nofika's well is. Whee! It is down, so I think I can just jump. If the game allows me to just jump, can I just jump? Yeah! Ow! It's a good thing there's nothing aggressive down here. Coco Boozy, I have arrived. What quest level is this? Level 20, really? Stalwart swordsman. The Lalafell promised me a sack full of yield to do what I do best. That's keeping all the attention on me. Ah! Coco Boozy. Ah, brother, so good of you to come. My Rogaine friend here is the warrior I mentioned back at the ossuary. Now there's no time to waste. Why don't you head into the stream and examine the bodies of the slain mages? I would go with you, but with my delicate stomach, I fear I might contaminate the scene. Remember, you're looking for anything that might help us track down this killer. Okay. Whee! Da 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 da. Thaumaturge corpse. Oh, delicious. Gather the evidence from the Thaumaturge's corpse. That's one. A two. Who? Oh, he's purple. Oh. That one's just dead. Okay, and I return. Woo. And toads. Rogue. Gogo Woozy. Did you uncover anything incriminating? A bloody scepter. The blood smeared about the head is still sticky to the touch. Shredded tomb. This book appears to have been torn apart with something sharp like a claw. Bloody bracelet. So much blood covers this piece of jewelry that it is impossible to tell from what it is made. Oh my goodness. Hee, the blood is yet slick to the touch. The slaughter must have been recent indeed. The villain may yet lurk nearby. Return to the creek where the bodies lay and linger for a time. I dare say your aura, saturated as it is with enticing etheric energy, will lure the Mage Slayer into the open. Have courage, brother. Our burly companion stands ready to leap to your aid. Sure. This is a cool looking plant. Weird balloon plant. I like balloons. I haven't had a balloon in such a long time. The last time I had a balloon, it flew away. The wind dragged it out of my hands. Poor balloon. Ah, Soul Sucker Imp. Ah. Go away. Aha, the demon shows its claws. Ah, demons. I'll keep it busy. You just focus on magicking. Sure. Doo-doo-doo. Seemingly ordinary imp. Put the little buggers to sleep. Can't take three at once. Okay. Oh, dang it. Sleep. Magic. Do-do-do. Oh, dang it. Just keep him asleep. Keep him right there. Okay, and we're done. Thank you, Star. That takes care of that. I'm off to collect me coin. Yay! Good for you. I hope you have your bag of coin. Unfortunately for me, I did the thing you're not supposed to do. I ran out of mana and I dropped my astral. I dropped my magic like 3 times in that fight. Oh my goodness, Kokoboozy. It seems your partnership with our hired blade went splendidly. It is unfortunate, though, that one of the imps was able to flutter away. Oh, did you not notice? You wouldn't wish to report to Kokoboha with your trial but half finished, would you? Of course not. I'm afraid, however, that the Rogaden has already collected his recompense and departed for the nearest alehouse. What to do, what to do? Surely a thaumaturge of your caliber can handle a single imp, yes? If I'm not mistaken, it fled into that little cave over there. Hurry now before it slips away into some hidden nook or cranny. Uh-huh, sure. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Cactuar Jack. No one knows why Cactuar Jack feels the need to rain his 100 needles down upon all who happen by, because few have lived long enough to ask him. Not that he would answer if he were asked, or that anyone would be able to understand him if he were to answer. Ah, Cactuar Jack. Shaded outcropping. Okay, let's see what's going on over here. Hey, movie time. Da 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 da. Huh. I see no imp. I was lied to. Oh! Oh no! Oh! That is not Kokobusi. Well, it is Kokobusi, but a Kokobusi possessed by the void scent that escaped from Mormo's urn. It was feeding on the etheric energy of all those slain thaumaturges. Really now? That sucks. Hee, and you, my dear mana-rich brother, were to be next! I have wanted to absorb your delicious power since the moment we met. No, you can't have it. That's mine. A pity. That has been such an amusing trade. However, did you see through it? I am Kokobusi's brother. How could I not? This time I destroyed you, Mormo, and put a stop to these sinister killings. As the eldest, I must take responsibility for my family's misadventures. A coward like you? Destroy me? Your opening strike should have pierced my heart, but instead you aimed for the knife. Fear stays your hand. Fear that slaying me will also slay your sibling. This is why I fucking hate demons. Whee! Oh, fuck that. Yee! Poor spineless thaumaturge! I shall, however, leave you with a pleasant thought. It was Kokobusi's fervent wish to amass this power. He craved the arcane strength to oh, goodbye. Strength to stand beside his brothers as an equal. What a shame that he must now stand against you. Hee. It pains me to admit, but there's some truth to that creature's words. I surrendered the perfect opportunity to end this. I have betrayed my own teachings. Return to the ossuary and report the completion of your trial, brother. I'll remain here for a time and gather my thoughts. Okay, Kokobuki. Goodbye. See you later. With that, I go back to the steppes of Nold. Wee. Oh, demons. Aethernet. Thaumaturge's Guild away. Kokobo, I've completed the thing. Also, your brother's possessed by a demon. Ah, brother! Kokobuki has advised me of your adventures. It seems the Mage Slayer slithered away, but your stint with the Swordsman was none the less successful. Consider this chapter complete. Your time with our Tome of Teachings is at an end. Yeah, I completed all 4. Ahem. Well, to be absolutely accurate, there is an addendum with additional advice, but Kokobuki considers it extracurricular. Even I dare not delve into those diabolical depths. I do not yet deign to die, you understand. Kokobuki. I have yet to inform my brothers of Kokobusi's misfortune. I have yet to reconcile the maelstrom within my own mind. The most fundamental lessons of thaumaturgy demanded I slay the creature where it stood. It was the most opportune moment to strike. Minimal risk and victory all but assured. How many more will suffer for my hesitation? And my cowardice? It will likely be some time, however, before Mormo resurfaces to kill again. Now that we have uncovered the deception, the Void Scent will seek a new hunting ground where Kokobusi's face is unknown. And though the respite may be brief, I must devote this time to considering my next course of action. Pray leave me to my musings, brother. Money! Oh, it's over here. Kokobigo. The hidden chapter. Guildmaster Kokobigo wishes to enlist your assistance. Ah, brother! I saw you coming this time. I've been more watchful since Kokobuki told us about that dreadful business with Kokobusi. We must locate our unfortunate younger sibling as soon as possible and deal with him. But Kokobuki is not his usual unflappable self. It frightens me to see our elders so indecisive. Terrifies me, in fact. Perhaps you might speak with him and help banish this air of uncertainty. Okay. Kokobuki? Brother! Long have I agonized over Kokobusi's plight and the measures I might take to extricate him from it. It would not do to call upon my thaumaturge colleagues. No, they would simply seek to obliterate my brother outright. Our teachings from the yawning abyss allow for no other alternative. There is, however, one tiny glimmer of hope. I've had word that the scholars who requested the destruction of Mormo's urn have returned from their expedition. They are currently in Camp Drybone, blowing the ink dry on their collective findings regarding that wretched void scent. I would ask that you go to these experts of otherworldly phenomena and beg permission to peruse their work. Okay. The Thanalan! The Drybone! Away! Excuse me. Water bottle. Oh, jeez, I got the hiccups. Okay. Ah, there we go. A void math. Twitching void math. Collect the chapters of the Book of Mormo. Hello? You're interested in reading our Book of Mormo? Of course. It would be a pleasure to share our findings with a fellow student of the Void's End. Here's the first chapter, my own humble contribution to our research. It tells the tale of how we became aware of the creature's existence and delves into the nature of the urn that imprisoned her fell power. It's the Lady Void Scent. Fucking demons. Anyone in here? Not that I see. Up there is one, a smirking void math. Hello. If you seek the definitive work on water in my mustache. On Mormo, then seek no further. I have penned an in-depth analysis of a most cunning ritual, a method contrived by the mages of Eld to annihilate the soul of this especially potent void scent. When it comes to draining such a creature of his etheric energies, one must... but I have not the time to stand here explaining the intricacies of shaping arcane pottery. Here, take my chapter and read it at your leisure. Thanks, guy. And the last one is in the inn. It is a flustered void math. You wish to learn of Mormo right this instant, but we've barely... How did you... Well, I suppose I could spare a copy of my writings. I've already prepared several extra sets to share with potential publishers. I can well understand your curiosity. Mormo is truly fascinating even among the oddities of the Void Scent. She is far too powerful to make use of the tiny holes that open between our realities, and thus must send across only her spirit to possess a corpse or some other suitable host. You'll find it all explained there in the second chapter. Yeah. Back to Kokobuki. Have I mentioned how I fucking hate demons? Oh, this is giving me the heebie-jeebies. Woo! Aethernet. Thaumaturge is going away! Black magic sorcery, indeed. Woo! Kokobuki! How you doing? You have the 3 chapters of the Book of Mormo. Yes, I do. A scientific study on the characteristics of the void scent seductress known as Mormo. Here you go. The histories unearthed in the ruins of Sildea depict the suffering wrought by a singularly powerful void scent, the cunning and terrible seductress known as Mormo. With genius born of desperation, the mages of the now fallen city fashioned an urn that would drain and imprison the etheric vitality of any creature that laid a hand or claw upon it. Mormo, believing she was receiving a gift of appeasement from the beleaguered citizens, found her very essence drawn forth and trapped within the ensorcelled pot. Over the course of several centuries, the captive etheric energy was intended to weaken and dissipate, allowing any surviving descendants to safely shatter the urn and thus destroy Mormo's enervated spirit. The pot's lid was never to be opened again. To do so would release the ravenous void scent, freeing her soul to enslave the nearest mortal vessel. As possession of this nature is irreversible, the only mercy afforded such a host should be a swift and decisive demise. This explains Mormo's fixation on thaumaturgicide. Kokobusi's body provided little arcane sustenance for the weakened void scent, forcing her to prey upon richer sources of ether to restore her hideous power. This morsel of information may prove most vital. In fact, it may be the only glimmer of hope our poor sibling has. Pray hand this work over to Kokobaigo. I shall be along momentarily. Okay. Go, Kokobaigo. Shudder. This is a work devoted to studying that nasty void scent. I should hope it provides some hint of salvation. Here you go. This is a book. Yay, book. Aha, I see you have read the book. Kokobuki. These passages hold naught but misery and despair. It seems we have little choice but to employ our traditional approach. Though fraught with danger, there is one solution that promises an alternative to killing Kokobusi. If we fail, however, it will likely mean death for us all. Who is this mad mage that poses as our eldest brother? What of avoiding the threats? Of eliminating the risks? Is that not how we thaumaturgists do battle? With each passing moment, Mormo draws ever closer to her full strength. It pains me to even suggest it, but we should strike now, Kokobuki, while the void sin is yet feeble. I share that self-same sentiment. Sorrowful though it may be, we must slay our enslaved sibling. And soon. Listen, brothers, for my solution is thus. In return for releasing Kokobusi from Mormo's thrall, I will offer the void scent the chance to glut herself on my mana. You cannot! That succubus will drain you to a lifeless husk, and such a feast will awaken all her terrible magics! The well of my power is vast. I wager Mormo's thirst will be slaked before my spirit fully runs dry, and the newly enlivened void scent. She will then face the combined wrath of brother and 4 guild masters of thaumaturgy. How can we hope to prevail against this paragon of preternatural potency? We've always avoided adversaries against whom we held no advantage. The fault lies with me. Ever have I encouraged such avoidance and taught only the wisdom of certain victory. It is time we learned the courage to fight battles of unsure outcome. And it is you, brother, that I asked to instruct us. There is yet one chapter left in the yawning abyss, one that is customarily hidden from newer members. Undertake the trial found within, and show my brothers what it means to be brave. Quiver. How can you ask such a thing of poor brother when even his guildmasters have yet to attempt that ghastly test? Oh no! The arcane might you all possess is far greater than you believe. Brother, once you deem yourself prepared for the lesson of the true final chapter, meet us in the hallowed hall of Thal's respite. Respite, it's one of those. Analan. To Camp Drybone I go. I have to go all the way up there. You know what? I think, yeah, that probably would have been faster. I get the speed up from completing the quest area. Yeah. Oh well, hindsight is 20/20. I'm here now. Whee! I need to clear out my inventory again. Money! Money! Look at all this money! Sells for 100, sells for 500, sells for 25. Tin, bronze, silver. Uh... Weird giant crystal formations. The beginning of the Black Shroud crossed this canyon. The trees start to grow like wood. Although we're not quite in the Black Shroud, but we're definitely at the entrance. What with all the trees. There isn't anywhere near this many trees past the canyon. And after this, there's actually just a wetland. X-beaks that will want to gouge my face if I go near them, so I will not go near them. I'm gonna go this way. Okay, Thal's Respite. Respite? It's one of those. Not sure which, though. But I know it's one. Oh. Okay, Kokobuki, I am ready. I regret having to drag you into our family's troubles, but I'm confident that, with the many and terrible trials you have bested already, you will prevail once more. The hidden chapter of the Yawning Abyss presents a trial that challenges the accumulated knowledge and skills of a single thaumaturge. You must employ all the tools at your disposal if you hope to seize victory this day. Let the trial commence! Commence it shall! How else am I supposed to get the Black Mage Pebble? Duty commenced. Let's go. There's no escape from this abyss. The void spills into our realm on wings of inky shadow. Thal's teeth I can barely watch. It's so spooky. Brother, try to keep your blood inside your body. Yeah, that would be helpful. Regenerate the mana. Thunder 2! AoE! Ah! You are nothing against the might of magics! Catch your breath while you can, the next threat is at hand. Oh yeah? Drift into the void. Void Dross. That's a slug. It's dead. That one's dead too. Really, bats and slugs? This is what you have for me. Just cast thunder. Cast thunder and they die. Ah, I'm silenced. Oh. Ah. Once again, you defy the void. The final nightmare approaches. Oh yeah, what else is it gonna be? Oh, that's an actual void scent. Okay. Eh. Ah, run away. Ah, Addle. Maybe being able to see would be helpful. Yeah. Ho ho. Aha, ho ho. Hee. I am victorious. Duty complete. Woo! The Lord of Flies cometh. I killed the Lord of Flies. Tremble. I cannot stop shaking, but I think this may actually be excitement! Whoa! Did you see now, my brothers? With the primal energies of thaumaturgy at your command, there's no threat which you cannot overcome! Yeah, perhaps there is a chance to save Kokobuzi. I need to reconsider some of my strategies. It seems we have been wasting our potential. I'd never have believed it possible for a mage to show such courage and live. What a wonder brother was! I feel my fingers itching to fling fire with a fury! Yes, indeed. Imagine my siblings, what towering enemies you might topple should you stand firm. Together! The power of family! Thank you, brother! Your inspiring display of magecraft has set the minds of my brothers reeling with new possibilities. Let us now return to the guild and discuss what is to come. Well, me eventually getting a Black Mage Pebble, I would hope. Thanalan, away! We at night. Oh, it's. Oh no, it's not. Yeah, for some reason at night the music doesn't play, which is sad. It only plays during the day. Ooh. Thaumaturgus, give it away! Magic! Arzeneth Ossuary. Whee! Coco Boogie, how you doing, my good lad? What a formidable team you all shall make. Coco Bigo, Coco Bonnie, Coco Bezzy, Coco Boha, brother! Even Mormo must wither before the onslaught of your combined thaumaturgy. But before we engage the Void Scent, perhaps some time is needed for my brothers to unlearn their ingrained inclinations. Meanwhile, I suggest you hurl yourself into the chasm of your studies. Your fearless thaumaturgy is as a beacon to us all. Money! I am ready. Facing your demons. Hey, Manoward. Fortune has favored us, brother. Kokobushi has been spotted at Vesper Bay. We cannot let this opportunity pass us by. Head there with all due haste. And with you, take these descriptions of my brother's likeness and Mormo's mannerisms. Relay this information to some of the local residents and see what you can find. Vesper Bay. Hey. Good thing I still have these. Whee! Let's see, have you seen anyone like this? Bashful geyser. What's that, Zon? You say you're looking for someone? Yes, Kokobushi report. This square of parchment contains information on Kokobushi the Cross. I believe I saw your Lawfell in the company of a couple adventurers hailing from Limsa Lominsa, a marauder and a thaumaturge, were to hazard a guess. I think they were talking about seeing the area north of here. Whee! Anyone in here see anything? Wilfred? No. You saw something, though. Gibhard. Something I can do for you, stranger. Yes, have you seen this person? Now that you mention it, I did see a Lalafell who matches this description. He was watching the fairies come in with more than a passing interest, looking to hire some adventurers or some such, I reckon. Last one. Where is the last one? In here? Yes, Falkland. Welcome to the Pissed Beist, love. What can I get ye? I'm looking for someone. Information, is it? Aye, that little bloke was in here, bringing a blush to all the young maiden's cheeks. What he lacked in height, he certainly made up for in boldness. Left with more than one lass on his arm, he did. Go Boogie! So Mormo has chosen this as her new hunting ground. The maidens seduced by the succubus will be prepared as vessels to hold her fully restored power. I fear they will have already been slain. As for the adventurers, well, I think you can imagine what Mormo intends for the thaumaturge. You must find and warn those unwitting Lominsons before the Void Scent strikes again. You were told that they might be headed north, yes? It would be best for you to follow suit. Okay. Whee! Hop, skip, jump. Whee! Bloated boggies. Weird little flappy spirit things. Maimed Marauder, how you doing? Groan, still here. It's still here. Somewhere close. Mormo's missionary. You have met your match today. Oh, I target the wrong thing. Whoops. Aha. You speak with the maimed marauder. How you doing? My thanks, lad. Ugh, me head. That little bastard said he would give us the Grand Tour of Ul'dah. Cough. Aye, it's been grand, all right. Please. You took my mate further north. Think you was muttering something about moon drip. Brother, what has befallen? This dude got ganked by an imp. I sense the presence of a void scent, but it appears you have things well in hand. Yeah, because I want to be a black mage. Shudder. Mormo is in Moondrip, a fitting place for the battle to come. It is time to finish this, my brothers. Kokobushi will be a slave to that fiend no longer. Yes, of course. Onward! To victory! Certain victory. I hope it's certain victory. If I die to this, oh my goodness. I shouldn't? Question mark? There's frogs in the way. There's a bunch of frogs in the way. Please get out of the way. Yeah, run away. Fire. Fire, fire. Go, go, boogie. All of them are terrified. Oh, dang it. Nope, 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 nope. Go Boogie, I shall report to Mormo first, as we discussed. If the bargaining proceeds smoothly and the void sent feasts on my proffered mana, then she should soon manifest in her demonic form. Once Mormo is fully present within this realm, that is when you unleash the seething power of the abyss. Explosions! After lecturing for so long on how a thaumaturge should avoid such threats, I yet hold doubts as to whether such a direct conflict is the correct path. Brother, in your experience, what do you consider to be a thaumaturge's greatest strength? Overwhelming destructive might! Yes, there are none who can match our propensity for fiery ruin. We'd not run from danger, but rather employ our unrivaled powers to incinerate all that seek to do us harm. I am decided. My fate awaits me. I have faith that, no matter what becomes of me, you shall succeed in destroying Mormo, ending her threat to this realm. Okay. Facing your demons. I can do this. Dead. Enough, Mormo! Well, well, if it isn't the eldest of the cowardly thaumaturge brothers, I thought you'd be busy whimpering under your bed, wishing that I'd just disappear. No, no, no. I've come to offer you a deal. I know you seek the etheric energy needed to substantiate your true form, but how much time do you intend to waste feeding on these lesser mages? Compared to these stripling sorcerers and their trembling arcane flames, my power is as a blazing sun. Would you not prefer to take what I can give you? Drain my strength and assume your rightful appearance. I'm sure you think me a coward, but that is of no consequence. I only wish Kokobushi returned to us unharmed. Hee, you are wise to acquiesce, mage. There. Run away. Fuck this, I'm out. There. Wee. Ah! Demons! At long last, my true body, my true power is mine once more! I believe a stretching of the old arcane muscles is in order. Oh, not so fast! Oh no, you don't, void scent! We won't let you leave here alive! Bruh! Huh? What? Yee, so you risk your lives in a valiant rescue attempt. You should not bet what you are not prepared to lose. I shall tear the aether from your very marrow. Oh my goodness. You shall not be suffered to live. Oh no. Yeah. Coco Bago the Craven, Coco Boha the Curt, Coco Bonnie the Cold, Coco Busy the Contemplative. I will keep more focused on me. Stay well back. I shall lend Coco Bago my support. Yeah, you do that, guys. Thundercloud. My thermometer right in I fry feeds for fun. Sure you do. Back to fire! Fire! I'm stealing aggro there, Coco Bago. Yo! Thundercloud proc, nice! Yee, it's all coming back to me. Why don't you come a little closer? Nah, I'm good. Ah! Nope, run away. Oh no, they're all silenced. And I have stolen aggro. What in the name of the gods was that? That was a silence. That's what that was. Intimacy. She weaves our threats as spells. Oh, ice. I want ice. My spells were silenced, but we must muster our magics. Yes, mustn't. Oh, let's all keep calm now. She seeks to perplex and confound us. Yes, very good. Still kind of high on the aggro list here, though. Why aren't I using Addle? Oh, a Thunder proc right into a Thunder proc. Nice. Resilient little nuisances. The stones will drink your blood. She conjures minions from the void. No, kill the void minions. Aha! Ho ho! Hee! Ah! Yo, Thunder proc! Let's go! Do-do-do-do-do! AoE him down! Dang it! Up! More! Hey, Mana Ward! I'm gonna get that! Nice! Get ice, take some lightning, take some more ice, swap to fire, and double, twin cast, dual cast, swift cast the fire. I'm not a red mage. Although if I swap between black mage and white mage fast enough, I might become a red mage. That's how that works, right? Pretty sure that's how that works. Come on. Just die already. No, for centuries I dreamed of escape. I will not be denied. Ha, take that, demon filth. Yeah. Yeah. I spit on your corpse. Yeah. We won. We won? We won! Victory is ours! Kokobushi, Kokobuki, Mormo is dead! Water bottle. Hey, how you doing? Drone, what? Where am I? Thank Thal, you're awake! Kokobuki! Kokobushi is returned to us! Our sibling has yet to stir from his somnolent stupor. This bodes ill. That does bode ill. Boogie! Whee! His etheric channels have contracted. They are barely sufficient to sustain the flow of his life force. If we do not increase his capacity for ether soon, his vitality will drain away completely. Oh no! Oh, bottle! My mana amplifying potion! Its potency is limited, but it just might be enough! Wow. Single drop! And he's back on his feet! Talk about a potion! Hey! Hey! I see the battle ended! As I expected! You did it, Kokobushi! Your alchemy saved him! Yay! And we would not have prevailed without you, brother. We will bear our brother back to the ossuary. Pray meet us there that we might properly express our gratitude. Yay! A happy ending. Watching the small folk wade through waist-high waters. Oh, that's a Thanalan. Get me out of here. Get me out of here, 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 get me out of here. Get me out of here, pretty please. Thank you. Yeah. All in the job for a thaumaturge. Accidentally release a demon, kill the demon. Perfectly balanced as all things should be. Demons. Go Boogie, how you doing? Thank you, brother. After seeking refuge in the comforting shadows of the abyss for so long, I had lost sight of the blazing glory of which thaumaturgy is capable. The raw power and audacity of your magecraft has freed my brothers and me from our self-imposed cowardice. Yee. Yeah. Yes. Woohoo! I thought Thal himself had his fingers at my throat, but the sensation of hard-won supremacy is strangely satisfying. As for you, Kokobushi, you are our brother and our respected colleague. I hope you never again underestimate the precious power you wield. Yes, I do. Brother, you have exceeded all my expectations. In recognition of your outstanding growth as a thaumaturge, I shall impart to you one of the guild's most closely guarded techniques. The Mana Ward! It is a defensive weaving of energies that blunts the force of any attack made against you. I am sure you can understand why we do not teach this secret to every stray hedge wizard who chooses to join our ranks. Now that you have experienced the deadliest threats and the joy that comes with their obliteration, I am certain you are eager to explore just how deep you might descend into the chasm of thaumaturgy. May your struggles bring wisdom, and your wisdom bring courage. I, for one, look forward to hearing of your future thaumaturgical endeavors. Water bottle. Mana Ward. Let's go. Yeah! Mana Ward! Fantastic. Now where is this gonna go? I think it should go here. Fire 3, level 35. Jeez. Yayake. Mana Font restores 30% of maximum MP. Soul of the Black Mage. Yes, the Black Mage Pebble. Yayake has a need of a talented thaumaturge. Brother! Oh, whoops, I don't want to move that. Brother! I've been waiting for you. In a way, please let me explain. Do you know of the Marasaja Pit? It is a prison here in Ul'dah. Excuse me, in prison a man will do most anything to keep his mind occupied. Of late, one inmate claims to hear the voice of Nald Thal. No doubt he has lost his mind after serving 100 years of a life sentence. But he knew of you by name, brother, and maintains the traitors demand you win the gem of Shototo and exchange it for his release. A farce, no doubt. I make it for nothing more than the maniacal ravings of a cell-crazed, sweaty-toothed madman, but I fear the only way to be sure is to free him of the pit. The prisoner's name is Kukuruka Tartaruka, and as if his story were not proof enough of his lunacy, he also styles himself a black mage. But such magic was lost to yours centuries ago. Who does this senile charlatan think he will fool with such rubbish? Aye. Nevertheless, he has invoked the name of Nald Thal, and so the Order feels it's unwise to ignore his words. While I'm still no believer, you have come, as he said you would. So let us get to the bottom of this, shall we? It may be that you are an agent of fate, or perhaps you are merely a crooked old man's accomplice. In either case, I ask that you travel to Highbridge in eastern Thanalan, seek out the planar fissure, a rift between this world and the next, fell whatever beasts might lurk there, and water the earth with their blood. According to our jailed mummer, doing so will give rise to the Gem of Shototo. The gem is no more than a pretty stone off mentioned in bedtime stories and the tales of fairies. You shall see if it truly exists. I shall await your findings here. Return to me when the deed is done. The Thanalan away! The Drybone away! Woo, triple triad away! Ugh. Beard. Let's go, Beard. Lock this. Man War creates a barrier that offers damage swelling up to 30% of maximum. It'd be very nice. As a defensive. Scathe. Why do I even have this on my heart bar? You'll never know. You never know when you need to cast Scathe. Potency 100. It's a worse Blizzard too, but it... Ugh. At least it's instant. That reminds me, traits. Estimate Mastery 3, that's when I get it. When do I get Firestarter? 42? Aw, oh, whoops, I passed it. Ugh. Until then, Fire 3 is just a single target. Actually, when... 3? Oh my, why would I ever use this? Like, at the moment, there's no reason to use it until I get Firestarter. Except for maybe, like, single target damage, but it takes so long. Oh my goodness, hello! Yeah. Stay over there, please. Yeah. Yeah. Do. Paddle! Aha! Your DPS is reduced by an amount. Investigate the planar fissure. Void scent blood, the cold blood of a creature not of this world. For some unknown reason, the humors will not coagulate. Do. Ah. Well, I poured blood on the thing. Thaumaturge, hear me! Ah! An Amalja! What do you want with me, lizard men? Put up your weapon, friend. Kazakh Cha means you no harm. Oh, okay, lizardmen. If you say so. He's looking for something. I think he found the thing. So you are the one of whom Kukuruka's prophecy speaks. By your hand was the blood of these creatures spilt upon this earthen vein, was it not? Well, yeah, it was. Then you have earned this gem of Shitoto. Take it. You will know what to do with it when the time comes. Okay. You. Ah. With this, my part is done. Farewell. For now. Goodbye. Pebble. Why is it purple and not black? That's always gotten on my nerves on how the black mage soul isn't black. It's purple. Irritates me to no end. It's not like we don't have black soul stones, right? The soul of the ninja's black, soul of the reaper's black. The soul of the Dark Knight isn't really black. It's more like a really dark brown. Almost like a blood brown, something like that. Yeah, okay, I've done the thing. I have this pebble. Isn't it cool looking? I think it's cool looking. Well, you certainly smell as though you've been off spilling blood, but it will take more than a waft of foulness to convince me you're an agent of divine will. I take it yours was an eventful journey. Yeah, I got this rock. Yeah, it was. Z, I got a rock. It is exactly as described in the tales. Could it truly be the gem of Shatoto? Well, be good, I can feel the magic pulsing within it. The tales tell that only souls blessed by the grace of Nald Thal are entrusted with the keeping of the gem. This is beyond mere coincidence. I must investigate further. And you must assist me, brother. This now involves you as much as any other. Still, I cannot shake my inner skeptic. If Kukuruka somehow made contact with the outside world, he may be manipulating adventurers such as yourself for ends yet unknown to us. I will call an emergency council of the order. Please wait here. Okay. Oh. Magical doors. What? Yo! That will not be necessary. Oh, hey, another black mage. Two black mages. Kukuruka, what are you doing here? How have you escaped the pit? Watch your tongue, you insolent fool! Master has passed a century of meditation communing with Nald Thal. You will address him with the proper respect. The jailers of the Marasaja pit are very different from the heretics of your order. Suffice it to say, they had wisdom enough to listen. Slowly walks like a Lalafell. Must I remind you again, the will I speak is that of Nald Thal himself. The true criminal is he who ignores the words of a god. Beware, Kukuruka. The 12 seldom spare those who claim their voice. This mummers farce will bring disaster to us all. The cause of the disaster to come will be no words of mine. Of that be sure. Nald Thal spoke unto me. By his own declaration, the seal on the Void Gate will be broken. Once thrown open, it can be closed once more by none but he who bears the gem of Shatoto. Oh, is that me? I speak of you, Brother Creed. Oh my gosh. Hey, I got the bubble. Yo! Magic! Black magic sorcery! The gem you hold is the mark of a mage of the black. With it in hand, you must now sit forth to gather the keys needed to seal the void gate. Whee! See you later. Wait, you can't! I mean, you don't have the right to... I can't just let this happen! Silence, you hollow-pated prig! Those who do not listen shall not be heard! You take for yourself the title of Thaumaturge, and so I will not suffer you to claim ignorance. You know as well as any of the existence of another world rife with shadow and monstrosity, the Void. As the power of the Void waxes, the barrier between it and our own world wanes. Eventually, that barrier will falter, and the Void Gate will open. Once it has, only the black magic of Eld can reseal it. This is sacrilege. As one who now commands the forces of destruction, I bid you go forth, Black Mage. Ah! The gem of Shitoto is our sigil, the mark of the Magi devoted to the true dark art. In it, you already possess the first key required to see the Void Gate sealed. Oh, I do. You have taken the black, but time is needed before the black takes you. Before it permeates mind and body and colors every fiber of your being dark as pitch. Visit Milvaneth Sacrarium, and there hear the words of Lele. Whee! I'm not pleased with this one bit. Do not fear the power to destroy. Master it, and with it destroy that which would destroy you. Taking the black, report to Lele at Milvaneth Sacrarium. That is Miners Guild. To the Miners Guild away! Wrong way, this way. Whee! Hello. Master is meditating in his chambers. Excuse me, for Nalthal always speaks, and Master must listen. He has entrusted me with guiding you on your path, but you must walk alone yet. Come again when the black has grown stronger within you. Yay, Black Mage! Woo! Black Mage unlocked. Yeah! Wah! The gem of Shitoto imbues you with dark knowledge. The dark arts. Yay! Get this off my screen. Addle. Bop, bop, bop. 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 Bop, bop. Oh, bop, bop. Bop. Yes. Actually, yeah, there we go. Fantastic. I'm a black mage now! Yay! No, I don't want the brand new ring. Go away, game. Okay, next up. Arcanist. Delanaska. Away! Whee! Let's see what they will have me do here. Aethernet, Arcanist's Guild, away! Alright, what's this quest line gonna have me do, huh? Oh, Carbuncle! Get over here, my scrappy lad! Guildmaster, my first grimoire. It is a hefty tome, is it not? I promise you a grimoire's weight becomes a comforting anchor amidst the shifting seas of battle, a fact you will soon discover. In Lower Lanoska you will find, among others, 3 species of pest, wharf rats, little ladybugs, and Arielle. I ask that you employ your fledgling skill in Arcanima to eradicate 3 of each type of creature. Leave the city through the Tempest Gate, and you will soon encounter the potential targets in abundance. As long as you remain focused, I do not foresee these opponents causing you or your budding abilities undue difficulty. Once you return from completing this preliminary trial, I will welcome you as an official member of the Arcanists Guild. May your judgment remain swift and clear. What was it again? The Tempest Gate? Little Ladybugs, Wharf Rats. Well, that's Lower Lanoska. Yeah, the Tempest Gate. Whee! Woo! Alright. Aha! AoE! Ah! Oh, easy peasy like. That one. Yeah. Fantastic. I shall return. Report to Thubergium at the Arcanists Guild. I don't know how to pronounce that. The Rogadans have weird names. At least the Sea Wolves. I don't know how to pronounce the Sea Wolf names. Whee! But, as an Arcanist, at least I have Swiftcast Resurrection. Utility. Arcanist's Guild away! Okay, Thubergium. I see the creatures beyond the city walls pose you a little threat. I know, right? Furries in my 14. It is with great pleasure, then, that I formally recognize your initiation into the guild. From this day forth, you may proudly bear the title of Arcanist. I suggest you continue your forays into the wilderness and keep the pages of your grimoire turning. There is no finer teacher than the harsh mistress of experience. And when you feel you can command Carbuncle as easily as you might move your own limbs, return to me for further instruction. I will be waiting. Okay. Hey, teacher lady, I think I can do that now. Ah, brother, isn't it? Are you eating well? An empty stomach distracts the mind and leads to hurried judgment. I must often remind my Arcanists to take meals. So ensconced do they become in their studies. Speaking of such, have you been practicing your tactics with Carbuncle? I believe it is time to assess the improvement of your skills. As with your previous trial, I would have you defeat foes in Lower Lanoska. Three wild dodos and 3 tiny mandragoras, to be precise. Watch carefully the behavior of your opponents, formulate an effective strategy, and utilize your arcane entity to its fullest potential. I expect you back in time for breakfast. What the fuck is going on in chat right now? Not Twitch chat, this chat. Let's just get that out of there. Oh my goodness. Whee! Let's see. Wild dodos, mandragoras. Dodos and mandragoras should be simple enough. Yeah. Aha. Under the mandragoras, away! Yeah, go away. Why do they run at me so? Oscar! Back to Limsa. Away! I don't have this one because I haven't done the level 15 quest yet. Hey! Ethernet, Arcanist skilled, away! General, has anything changed? Not really. This is what I get for being in Limsa. Limsa never changes. Welcome back, brother! It appears your coordination with Carbuncle is progressing at a satisfactory pace. Shall we test our growing acumen with a more practical examination? Our work at Malvin's Gate requires us to inspect and record the contents of incoming cargo. To simulate such a task, I've had several crates transported to the cliffs south of the Zephyr Gate. I want you to examine those crates, then return the inspected cargo here to me. You'll be surprised at the depths to which some merchants will sink to deter our custom agents from performing thorough investigations. False bottoms, rotting foodstuffs, flesh-eating Vilegan. I suggest you be prepared for any eventuality. Okay. Seems simple enough. Ethernet. Zephyr Gate, away! Though I am cringe, so take my word with a grain of salt. Cringe? Why'd you invite him? He posted cringe. Practice grates. What is in the practice grate? Tree slugs. Oh no! I win! Oh, collect the crates. Yes. Some big slugs. My goodness. Well, let's see what's in the box. Yes, this is in fact a box. Huh? And you are on the ground. Who are you? You okay? I am not a threat. Pray ignore my presence for the present and allow me a moment to cogitate. Okay. But whatever that word means, sure. The reaction to my sudden appearance was within expected parameters, but I must admit I did not expect so proficient a performance against the enemies set against you. I just used outbursts. Yet, effective though your tactics were, I spared much room for improvement. I killed them all. As I watched you battle, the wheels of my mind whirled into motion, as they are wont to do, inventing other possible strategies you might have employed, other than just complete devastation. Maybe I should just be a black mage. Let's see. Take into account your current level of ability, factoring in the etheric constant, multiplying by the number of opponents, then applying your tactics to other potential combat scenarios. Oh dear, my calculations indicate failure upon encountering threat level. What? Huh? Hello? Well, we'll have to see what we can do about that. Though the opportune window to do so has passed, I would nevertheless introduce myself. I am Kalea. Kalea? Kalehia. Kalehia, a Melvian's Gate Assessor. Acting Guildmaster Thubriagim elected me to oversee your training and provide any necessary guidance and instruction in the field of Arcanima. Yay! So, what happened? From what I have observed thus far, you have an admirable grasp of the fundamentals. I do, however, wish to confirm one small detail regarding your choice of arcane geometries. What factor most influences your actions during battle? Desire to outwit an enemy, potential for amusement, I simply do what feels right. Yeah. Aha! Just as I predicted, and I have the final element needed to perform another calculation. The probability of you becoming an arcanist of note is 90%, give or take 0.5%. Yes, the certainty is quite high. After all, I only know of one other practitioner who responded to my question in the same manner. It was the man who bestowed upon me this grimoire, the Guildmaster himself. Well, our inscrutable leader is, as I'm sure you've heard, on an indefinite leave of absence. He did leave us with his most notorious saying to date. Strategy is a tool used to manipulate one's situation into the desired reality. No matter how gifted you and I might be, however, the instantaneous manipulation of reality that might cause us to suddenly become mighty arcanists is beyond our present abilities. Discipline and experience is the finest strategy in this case. I suggest you continue to focus on refining your aptitude with Carbuncle. Mastery with an arcane entity will greatly improve your success as a wielder of Arcanima. Here ends your lesson for today. Pray, return directly to the guild. I believe Mistress Thubi is awaiting some inspected cargo. And what of myself? I'm off to the fields, of course. The tactics I reasoned out earlier must be attempted on real-life scenarios. Theory is all well and good, but there is no substitute for actual combat. We will meet again soon. Goodbye. She's a weird one. Yes, you already said you were leaving. Onward! I'll be back to help, what's your face? I'm forgetting her name. The secretary of the Waking Sands. Yeah, that chick. What's her name again? I forget. Oh well. I'll see her eventually and remember her name then. Aethernet to the Arcanist Guild away! I have returned, Guildmaster. Ah, brother! Have you returned with the cargo? That I have. Here you go. Yes, everything seems to be in order. Relatively clear of blood and other gore. That can be something of a problem in our profession, you understand. I also had word from Kalehia regarding your performance. She seemed eager to continue your training. An odd lass, I'll admit, but the guild can boast no finer mind for tactics. You do well to heed the instruction she offers, particularly that which touches on the diligent approach to our art. Did you perhaps notice that battered tome Kalehia carries? That initiate's grimoire has served her from the day she entered the guild. She has her reasons, but it's admittedly strange to see it kept all the way to her present position as Foreseer. I fear such an intense focus on Arcanima has led her to overlook other important aspects of life. As our master strategist guides your Arcanist training, I hope that you might return the favor and help to broaden her own perspective somewhat. But enough of such matters for the moment. You have done well this day, brother. Have a water bottle. Oh, well, thank you. Continue your practice with Carbuncle, as Kalehia has bid. I'll be here when the time comes for your next lesson. Hey, money. Hey, it's time for my next lesson. Let's go. Tactical planning. Yes, brother, the time for your next lesson is upon us. You are keeping well, I trust. Taking the occasional brisk walk, one cannot form sound thoughts if one fails to maintain a sound body. Now, assuming you have been following Kalehia's instructions, you should be ready to face the more dangerous threats found in western Lanaska. I speak of roselings and wild jackals, and yes, I would have you vanquish 3 of each. This is the perfect sample size. The first acts as a preliminary test case, the second to test your hypotheses, the third to perfect the tactics you've devised. Speaking of which, I trust your strategy will consist of more than simply flinging ruin over and over again. You're not the novice you once were, and your skills in the field ought to reflect that. If you find yourself wanting for other approaches, consider an assault with ruin in tandem with attacks from your carbuncle. When timed appropriately, you can deal a crippling blow to your opponent. Okay. Anaska! Swift Perch, away! What's going on in Limzo? I'm sorry, what the fuck? My brain! My brain! What is this? What is this bullshit? Oh my goodness. You know what? Whatever. Sure. Nah. Nah, pay them no mind, Creed. If you ignore them, they'll go away. Oh. Oscar. Gotta go back to I'm just gonna keep this on. I don't want to know what they're doing in Limsa. I really don't. Ugh. Arcanist skilled away. Wee. Ignorance is bliss, don't you know? Welcome back, brother. How did it feel to conquer such ferocious foes? Let us ride that wave of triumph onto an even more demanding and dangerous challenge. An next training exercise will have you accompanying Sorcerer on one of her inspections. This experience will afford you the opportunity to witness firsthand the practice application of Arcanima. Pray do not tarry, brother. Kalehia awaits you on the floor below with further details. Okay. Down I go. Wait, the stairs, dang. Excuse me. Galea? Yo, carbuncles. Look at all the yo, Pokemon battle! A timely appearance, as I had expected. Shall we proceed directly to the job at hand? I have been tasked with examining the wares of a goblin peddler caravan run by the Boylestocks family. Our agents suspect these beastmen merchants of dealing in forbidden goods. As such, I have calculated that announcing an inspection has a 60% chance of inviting physical violence. I've prepared a strategy to respond to this possible shift into hostilities, but there is an important precondition you should be made aware of before we discuss the finer points of my plan. Though I am considered gifted in the formation of tactics, I lack the reflexes and coordination necessary to employ many of those self-same strategies on the field of battle. Pray keep this factor in mind and adjust your perceptions accordingly. Now, should the goblins offer battle, you are to execute combat pattern 1345, otherwise known as Stratagem Focus Fire. You and your carbuncle will concentrate your attacks on a single foe, and, one by one, the enemy will wither under the combined onslaught. Probability of victory, 95%. Reports place the peddlers in the vicinity of the cookpot in Middle Alaska. I will depart immediately to assess the situation. Seek me out once you arrive. My eye. Okay. Not 100% better, but not as bad as it was. Ease. Run! I don't care if General's green, I'm not clicking it. Nope, you can't make me. Not one bit. Little Lunoska away. Now that I'm out of the place where they talk, bam. Bam! Up. Run up the bank. Tactical planning. Gonna have to take the bridge, because that one's just too steep to have the Chocobo run up it. Oh, no, it's not. Would you look at that? I'm thinking of the area down there, then. Doo-doo-doo. The gobbies! Hello, gobbies. Hey, we think you're doing illegal stuff. Stop it. I am Forcier Kalia of Maelvin's Gate. You are to cease all transactions and surrender your goods for inspection. Nasty, sneaky peekers, gobby spit uplander, nosy eyes on stabby iron. Huh. A predictably aggressive response. Very well, brother. Remember what we discussed. And I do not forget the precognition. Adjust your tactics accordingly. Oh, there's more of them. Where? There. Eh. Up. Ruin. Just cast Ruin 5-head. Avoiding bomb blast, your combat style gives me an idea. Oh yeah? What's the idea, lady? Interrupt casting if you must focus on mobility. Yeah! Throw my new tactic, the battlefield is yours! Whee! Whee! Did I win? That's a big book. Oh my goodness, this book is huge! That's a big book. How many chapters are in this book? Gobbies. Nicely done. Adaptation. Improvisation. I must have been observing our beloved guildmaster himself in action. This was the perfect example of how the strategy for a given task should be tailored to the abilities of the assessor. In other words, before you begin formulating your tactics, it is necessary to fully understand your own strengths and weaknesses. On that note, there is another question I would ask you. When it comes to improving the probable success of a strategy, do you consider it more effective to concentrate on playing to your strengths or showing up your weaknesses? Enhance my strengths. Oh ho, again, you respond as the guildmaster once did. I must revise the probability for your potential to attain greatness to 97%. You're one to keep an eye on, that much is certain. But to return to the subject of battle plans, your calculations must include an accurate assessment of your available techniques and their relative effectiveness. This requires you to be critically aware of your own limits, the limits of your allies, and the characteristics of your enemies. I believe that covers everything for today. Please return to the guild and make your report to Mistress Thublabla until next we meet. I shall abide here until the Yellowjacks arrive to take the peddlers into custody. My strategies will keep me company. So you're gonna stand here alone, is that what you're telling me? See you later, Kalea. Goodbye, gobbies. The Goblin Picaroon. Ethernet. Arcanist Guild away. You gain the effect of sprint. You lose the effect of sprint. I've done the thing, Thublabla. Back from the field, brother. Kalelia contacted me with a summary of events. It seems you were treated to a lecture on knowing thyself. That particular lesson is ordinarily taught only to intermediate practitioners. Without a sufficient store of combat experience from which to draw, it is difficult to fully appreciate the profundity of such a seemingly simple truth. Nevertheless, I feel confident that you will soon be ready for a more ambitious assignment. Keep to your studies and maintain the razor edge of your mind. Money! Topaz teachings. Hey, I get Topaz! You seem tired, brother. Are you sleeping properly? One's reasoning can suffer without sufficient rest and recuperation. Should you deem yourself fit for duty, pray make your way down to the practice floor. Sorcerer Kalea has requested you accompany her on another official inspection. There is, however, a requirement for your participation. The Sorcerer will explain the situation. Okay. Whee! Run all the way down here. Come on, Carbuncle. Come on, Hatching Bunny. We got places to go. Kalea? I was beginning to think I'd miscalculated, brother. Thank you for coming. I will soon be boarding a trading vessel suspected of smuggling. All merchant ships that make use of Limsa Lominsa's ports are subject to inspection by Melvin's Gate assessors. It is a routine I perform daily. In the case of smugglers, however, there is a 75% probability of encountering resistance. Thus, I would appreciate your company during this assignment. It is now that we must discuss the requirement of which you were informed. Though I have full confidence in your martial expertise, it is imperative that you first acquire the ability to summon Topaz Carbuncle. Such knowledge will be released to you contingent on your acceptance of this duty. You accept this duty? Yes, teach me how to summon Carbuncle. Very good. The arcane entity given form by the Topaz geometry will further expand your offensive capabilities along with this water bottle. Water does the throat good. With such an ally at your command, even the harshest of enemies will falter before you. Indeed, we could not conduct these dangerous spot inspections without its support. Please return to Mistress Lula and inform her of your participation. I will join you once I've completed some final adjustments to my tactical formulae. Okay. I sprint back up. Whee! I finally get Ruby Carbuncle. I can finally use all of these. Fantastic. I did the thing. You have agreed to accompany the Force here, then I shall gladly instruct you in the use of Topaz Carbuncle. Pray do not hesitate to employ this entity in combat should the inspection turn sour. Yay! Quest complete! Yeah! Summon Topaz. Fantastic. Get you over there. 15. Over the rails, acting Guildmaster is awaiting the arrival of the inspection party members. Let's do this. No idea what Topaz is going to do. The mercenaries Gersfreen and Arshlar are here to assist with the inspection. Both are old hands when it comes to escorting Kalea during her more dangerous duties. Well met, brother. My spells are at your disposal. This won't be the first time we're expecting trouble, but as long as we follow the Foreseer's tactics and keep a clear head, we'll come through just fine. The Morning Star is preparing to dock in Aleport. We will meet our first challenge, however, before we even board the vessel. It's almost a certainty that the merchant ship has hired a thug or two to accost us at the pier. I calculate the probability at 98%. The crew wish to avoid attacking us on deck, you see, as that would all but trumpet their criminal intentions to the world at large. Now, once we do manage to clear the rails, we will face a deck crowded with armed sailors. For a small party such as ours, the most effective strategy will be to incapacitate individual foes as swiftly as possible. Each opponent we down is one less weapon raised against us. It is imperative that we do not allow ourselves to become tangled in multiple, drawn-out skirmishes lest we be overwhelmed. I call this stratagem Hammerfall. You have a stratagem water bottle? Ah, delicious. Strategy is a tool used to manipulate one situation into the desired reality. Keep those words in mind, brother. It is time we departed. Let us regroup before the main gates of Aleport. Okay. Quest accepted. Outside Aleport. Aleport it is. Well, Aleport is super easy to get to. Fisherman's Guild. Whee! Not looking at you, General Chat. Not until I leave this cursed place. Why couldn't Aleport be nice when I was doing the ninja stuff? Aleport away. Whee! Okay, well now I can turn on general. Doo-doo. Go, bird, go! Lynn Lampkin. Do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man? The Muffin Man. Yes, I know the Muffin Man. The one who lives on Drury Lane. Well, she's married to the Muffin Man. The Muffin Man? The Muffin Man! She's married to the Muffin Man. Leia, how you doing? Let us about our task, brother. Pray inform the steersman at the pier that we are ready to conduct our inspection. Should a violence be offered, you're to execute stratagem Hammerfall. Do not forget, your tactics are both your shield and your weapon. Hey, tactics. Strategy. Education. Woo. Woo. Yay. Alright, my fine fellow, are you ready to rumble? You're with the folks from Melvin's Gate. Hells, I knew there'd be trouble. You sense a hostile presence. Ah! Don't worry, I'm amazing. Well then, I'm certainly glad to see you can handle yourself. You'll find the landing boat just down here at the end of this ramp. I'll have no part of what comes next, though. Ah, this ramp. Yo, tiny boat. Destination. Do. Yeah, let's go. I got this. I can handle this. Whee! Deftly handed, brother! Once again, I am reminded of our guildmaster. Thanks to your efficient response, we will be able to commence this inspection earlier than I had calculated. We shall board the merchant vessel out in the bay. Yes, of course. If you would take the rudder, the Morning Star awaits! Whee! Silent. Oh, no longer silent. Okay. That's a boat. Where you fish from the boat. There. Cast the line. Get some fish. Hey, fishy. Since their welcoming party at the pier failed to deter us, I expect, with a probability of 85%, that our arrival will incite further belligerence. Our objective, however, is not to trade blows, but to gain access to the hold. It may behoove us to employ stratagem Hardhead. What's that? The aim of our opponents is to buy time so that suspect goods may be tossed into the ocean. I do not intend to give them that time. We will bowl our way towards the cargo hold as quickly as we can. It is a tactic fraught with risk, but one that your presence makes possible. Shall we begin? Yes. Bring us closer in. Yeah, me. Whee! Oh, all sneaky beaky like. Dun dun. I am Sorcerer Kalea. By the authority of Melvin's Gate, I request that you surrender your goods for assessment. Well, now, your timing couldn't be worse, lass. The old door's all rusted up, you see. Bloody thing won't open. You'll have to come back another day after we's fixed the hinges. I'll see that cargo now! Any vessel entering a port of Limsa Lominsa is bound by law to submit to a routine inspection. the law, is it? Lads, I reckon it's time our guests add themselves a little accident. Pitch 'em over the side. Battle music. Not if I have anything to say about it. Wah! Book. You will feel the power of the book. Defeat the crew of the Morning Star. Commence stratagem Hardhead. Brother, it's Topaz Carbuncle's time to shine. I can't summon Carbuncle yet, though. I have to wait a while. Okay, now I can summon Carbuncle. Ah! Dang it. What's this? Deals earth damage to the opponent's of 240. Healer must be protected first and where? Ah, over there. Yeah. Go, Ruby, go! Yeah. Go. Go, Ruby, Topaz, Carbuncle, go. Yeah. Goodbye, Topaz, Carbuncle. Hey, Carbuncles, I did it! I did the thing! They have been defeated. Now, what's in here? Let's find out. A masterful display, brother! Now we can finally gain access to their cargo. Oof! What have we here, then? It's one of the bitch Admiral's lapdogs scampering about me ship. You're just like your mistress, always sticking your nose in where it ain't invited. No, the book! No, it can't be! It is! Ah, recognize my pretty face, did ye? But you were caught! Exiled! Ah! Panic! Sorcerer, are you hurt? Can you stand? Stay back! You stay away from me! Uh-oh. Sorcerer, please calm down. What are your orders? I've had enough of your whimpering, and I've certainly had enough of these bloody books. It's clear you ain't learning anything from them. No, the book! Panic! Reckon it's time you got a different kind of lesson. Murder! Scared! Ah! Fainted! Kalia! No Fricka preserve us, she's fainted! We must withdraw! Run away! Brother! Quickly! Back to the boat! We'll carry the force here! Ah! Ah, that's right, ye slink on back to your mistress, ye worthless curs! Dun dun! Ah, that was a thing that happened. Fainted. Well, take care of Kilea. You'd best return to the Canis Guild and report to Mistress blah 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 blah. Okay. Passed out like a rock. Oof.
Whee! This way! Mermaid with angel wings. Because that makes sense. That makes it makes total sense, don't you know? Not really, it makes little to no sense. Why would something that fly also need wings? Wait, no. Why would something that swim need wings? That's what I meant to say. Obviously, something that flies needs wings. How else is it gonna fly? And yeah, I know about air gliders and all that cool stuff, but that's not really flying. That's using thermal vents and blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Melvin's Gate. Hey, something happened. It's good to see you well, brother. Gaisrin sent word ahead of your travails. An unfortunate turn of events, but considering the infamous Blackheart you face, you might have fared much worse. Have you heard of the pirate Dozmaga? He was exiled from Limsa Lominsa some years ago, but it appears he has chosen to defy the Admiral's orders. Once more he dares lay a hand on Sorcerer Kalea. The poor lass must have been terrified. If I had known Dozmaga was aboard that ship, I never would have assigned her that duty. The assessor may require some time to recover. For Kalea, that man is a nightmare made flesh. Though her physical wounds will soon mend, there is little we can do to salve the hurt to her mind. You are concerned? Angry, mayhap? Harness that energy and channel it into your training. I predict we shall be needing your skills again before long. Money! Quest complete. Woo! Next quest. So what? Grants 4 stacks of Earth Attunement. Just a slower version of the Wind version. Pincer Maneuver, acting guild master blah blah blah, appears unusually distressed. Greetings, brother. In case such doubts fill your mind, you should know that I am ever willing to lend an ear if you find your thoughts troubled. At the very least, I would have you know this, because it seems that Kalea does not. The four has been missing since this morning. There have been other times when she has disappeared without a word, but we have always been able to find her. Alas, that is not the case this day. Were the Guildmaster here, he could deduce her whereabouts with nary a moment's concentration. I find myself beginning to wonder if those who devote themselves overmuch to Arcanima are more prone to bouts of wanderlust. But while I might wish to ponder further such oddities of character, we must needs organize a search party. Would you be so kind as to make inquiries in Hawker's Alley? It is not common for Kalea's wanderings to take a path through the markets. Okay. App. Insert maneuver. Whee! I'm already sprinting, so why even take the teleporter? That's my idea anyway, even though it would probably be faster. Oh well, Dodo's on. Have the bloody executioners paid you back for that ale? You seek a Makote agent of Melvin's Gate. Why yes, I have seen her. Spoke with her, in fact. She was, however, apprehended by the Yellow Jackets. The assessor was drilling me for details about a Kikaran smuggling ring based in Aleport. Excuse me, but then the soldiers arrived and took her away. If you wish to know her fate, I suggest you speak with Junaid of the Coral Tower. That would be in the Marauders Guild. Marauders Guild away! Barry. Junaid. For Sir Kilia, yes, we brought her in for questioning regarding the reappearance of the pirate Dozmaga. Member of the Arcanists Guild, are you? Then I see no reason to conceal the nature of our discourse. Perhaps you are already aware of this, but the Forcier was once held captive by that rabid sea dog. Few pirates sink to such depths of depravity as Dozmaga. It has been 6 years now since he was exiled from Limsa Lominsa for engaging in the worst kind of black market trading. And now the villain has returned. He is, however, both cunning and cautious, and continues to evade our troops. Thus we hope to borrow the knowledge of Forcier Kalea, whose experiences have given her an intimate familiarity with the way the scoundrel operates. At least that was our intent. After weathering a barrage of questions from the assessor, we found ourselves instead providing the details of our search. Should you wish to speak with Forcier Kalea, I imagine she has already returned safely to your guild. Okay. Back to the Arcanists Guild, away! Whee! Back already? You were led to believe she had returned here? I'm afraid not. So the Yellow Jackets told you something of her history with Dozmaga, did they? Perhaps it would be best if I told you the entire tale. Dozmaga's banishment was the result of a surprise inspection that revealed his involvement in an underground slave trade. The assessor that stepped aboard the pirate's merchant ship spoke of finding dozens of unwashed unfortunates crammed into that squalid hold. Among those prisoners was a young Makote, destined for some black market auction block. Though Kalea was initially too terrified to even speak, the guildmaster brought her out of her fearful daze with the book of an initiate's grimoire. Yes, the self-same tome that she has carried her entire career. Of course. Did you not mention that Kalea's grimoire was thrown into the sea? There are rumors that a Kikurin merchant of ill repute has retrieved the black market goods. The crew of the Morningstar heaved into the ocean. Even now he gloats over his salt-encrusted catch in Aleport. It's entirely possible that the Four Seers' most prized possession was caught up in the Kikurin salvage net. I've no doubt now that Kalea has reached the same conclusion. To Aleport with you, brother. That is where you will find our wayward assessor. Onward! To Aleport to find a book. And Kalea. Fisherman's Guild, away! Turn around. Talk to Riri Nazu, the ferry skipper. 40 gil to Aleport, good sir. Yes. Yay. Map. Just on the other side of Aleport. Okay, Cactuar kind. I wonder where you get that. You get it from somewhere. But I don't know exactly where that somewhere is. I'd like to know. I could get it. Kalea, how you do? Oh, I see he got caught in jail. Yes, yes. Combat pattern 256 should serve to cover all expected contingencies. You never know when you'll have to nullify a thaumaturge or two. My retrieval strategy is complete. Brother, it is good of you to come. I was unable to calculate for certain if you would piece together my movements in time. Very little is certain when so many variables are involved. But there is good news. This prisoner here was kind enough to confirm that the trader who salvaged the Morningstar's jettisoned cargo did indeed retrieve a tome matching the description of my lost grimoire. Lominson law and the policies of Melvin's Gate would support the confiscation of goods connected to an official investigation, but alas, my personal belongings do not fall under that definition. Thus, I intend to launch an unofficial offensive against this black market here and his cronies. The peddler has already departed for Candlekeep Quay. This time I gather to me such allies as I possess, and I count you as one of them, brother. Despite the nature of this endeavor, Mistress has offered me her cooperation. If you would, pray join her at Oshan's Embrace. That is where we shall ambush this disreputable Kikurin. Lanoska, I believe that's lower. Yes, it is. Morbi! Away! Water bottle. Ah. Let's go. Ah. Wee. Hey, Chocobo Keep. Give me the sauce. Give me the juice. Oh, you don't have the juice. Aw. I was hoping for some grape juice. You have disappointed me for the last time. Whee! Hello, Wild Jackal. I am level 30. You will not fight me. You are too scared. Aha! Doo-doo-doo. Yellow Jacket Patrol. Jump up here. Jump up there. Gonna have to help a princess who's stuck on this in a while. Blur, 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 blur. Greetings, brother. Your arrival completes our small company. You're equipped for battle, I trust? Yes, I am. We need not await Kalea's arrival. Once the Kikurin appears on the bridge, we spring our ambush. The strategy for trapping our target relies on the two allies we have concealed on the other side of the ravine. This pincer maneuver was, naturally, the Foreseer's idea. As for the target himself, the Kikarin is known as a careful and cautious fellow. He travels with a small retinue so as to avoid attracting attention. But do not be fooled. More bodyguards follow at a distance, and will likely join the fray after hostilities ensue. Do not, however, expect any assistance from the Yellow Jackets. They cannot be seen aiding us in what amounts to a personal matter, but they are willing to turn a blind eye for Kalea's sake. In any case, the Foreseer's tactics account for our limited numbers and individual strengths. Victory is all but assured. Now let us take up our positions and wait for the Kikarin to arrive. Okay. My position. Waiting. Waiting some more. Continue waiting. Proceed, level 24. Fantastic. Don't exactly have AoE yet, I believe. Although I should have an emerald. Oh. Ah. Book. Bigger book. Mercenaries and retrieve the grimoire. Filthy ambushers, they want Kikarin sparklies. Ambush them back. That's not how ambushes work. Out of the now. Get him. Yeah. Go, Ruby Carbuncle, go! Go, Emerald Carbuncle, go! Kikaroon's no scary. Kikaroon have scary spell slingers. Oh, really now? Yeah. Yeah. Go, Emerald Carbuncle! Do your master proud! Ah, a healer. Do-do-do-do-do. And our healer's dying. Fantastic. Oh, no, because he's a healer. That's right. Oh my goodness, there's so many dudes. Meh. Go, Emerald Carbuncle, go! Air! 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 Yeah, gotcha! Ah, Magic Man! Menacing Mercenary, the last one to fall! Victory! Appears to be the last of them. Now to find the Foreseer's grimoire, wherever that is. Ah, there it is. Kikarin Trader, how you doing? There are more pressing matters at hand. Yeah, like this crate. You obtained Kilia's grimoire, yay! I've retrieved it. The Transpicuous. Almost suspicious, but not quite. Well executed, everyone. Were you able to retrieve my grimoire? Brother, pray hand over the tome. Here's your book. Not as cool as my book, but is a book. It's ruined. My wonderful grimoire is ruined. The probability of repairing this degree of damage is 0%. Even the most brilliant strategy cannot do such ravages of seawater. No! I've never felt so defeated. I believe it is time I returned home. Ah. Leave her be. But how can I? He is right, blah blah blah. You must allow Kalehia time to process the loss. And you have other matters to which you must attend. Come, brother, it is time we return to the guild as well. Okay, big sad. The book. The book is gone. Poor book. Goodbye. Bye-bye. Okay, next on the docket. To the Arcanist Guild, away! How you doing? Not quite the victory we imagined, was it? The moment Kalea beheld our soaked and tattered grimoire, we could see the light of hope die in her eyes. There is, however, something we can do. I will call on your aid soon, but in the meantime, you would do well served to deepen your knowledge of Arcanima. Funny. Hey, I can do the thing. Grimoire Fandango! Have you come to ask about Kalea's condition? The Sorcerer is unchanged. She walks about as if all the joy in life has been leached from her soul. I believe the only one who can help her now is the same person who broke Kalea out of her shell the first time, our absent guildmaster. And, though I am leery of the coincidence, the man himself has at long last been spotted. Should you seek out his last known location, it is unlikely he will still be there, and even should you catch him, he may not deign to speak with you. Nevertheless, this may be our only chance. Pray, travel to the Mebrune's trading post in Upper Lenoska, and speak with anyone who might have seen the guildmaster. Oh, and one more thing, though he prefers us to not use it to bleh. Though he prefers us not to use it for some inexplicable reason, our leader's name is Kiritia. Speak with a local Momaroon's trading post in Upper Lenoska. Lenoska? I'm just gonna go there and take the boat. Instead of having to slowly trudge all the way up there with my chocobo, I can just teleport here. Be fast already. And take the boat. Strategy. Hello, Mr. Junkmonger. Ferry skipper, please take me across. Yes, 40 guild, here you go. A poultry sum. Alright. Giant enemy crab. You so annoy me. And your boss music. Go somewhere else. Ooh. Aha. No, go away. Yeah. Ah. Oh my goodness, takes forever. No. I did it. It's a lot easier to kite with this way than this way with how my buttons are set up, but oh well. Live and learn, I suppose. Witness! Hello, Mr. Fisherman. Morning, sir. I was the one that sent word to your guild about spotting your leader. It's a right rare sight to see Kiritia roaming about. He asked me the way to Thalios. Could be he was seeking to speak with the scholar who lives out there. Oh, is he now? But is he an actual scholar? I don't think so. I didn't see any fairies over there the first time I came here. Poor maid's misfortune. No! I don't care. Tanga Tonga. Hello there. Why, yes, I did receive a visit from a gentleman identifying himself as an Arcanist's Guildmaster. An odd fellow, but obviously possessed of a well-rounded education. As it so happens, he bid me pass on a message to anyone who came searching for him. Ahem. Reunited, the 3 slips of parchment hold the problem to the solution. The Guildmaster mentioned that the slips of parchment are concealed among the bones of Thalios. I suppose you are expected to search for them. Ah, okay. Super epic battle music, oh my goodness. Hidden parchment. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do. Obtained! On to the next one. Somewhere on the bones. Ah, bones! I don't think I can get back up from there, so I'm gonna get that one last. Bones, 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 bones. Bones? Where's the last one? Somewhere on these bones. There it is! Go, Ruby Carbuncle, go! Thanks, Ruby Carbuncle. Go, Topaz Carbuncle, go! Hidden parchment. And it is obtained. Yay! Last hidden parchment. There. Right there. Yeah. Get that. Get the parchment. Hello, Carbuncle. Ooh. And all the way over here. There's not another way down. Oh. Oh, you have to take this very specific way. Of course. Why wouldn't I? I will be right back. Have the music. I have returned. Okay, and we shall continue to the quest area. Tangatonga. Have you tracked down those 3 slips of parchment? Yes, I have. Foreign parchment slip. Both sides are filled with letters and markings unlike any you have seen in Eorzea. Really now? Interesting. They actually exist. To be perfectly honest, I thought you had been set on a wild dodo chase. Let's have a look at these, shall we? Well, penned in ancient Allegan, no less. Fortunately for you, I have a passing familiarity with the script. Seek the box at Fool Falls. Dance a jig for your wooden audience. Claim the secret from the opened heart. A most cryptic set of instructions, I must say. Do you intend to follow them? The skilled master of yours certainly enjoys his games. Yes, he does. Up to Fool's Falls I go. Oh, whoops. Let's see. An old wooden box. I shall... The lid of the box is jammed shut. Dance in front of the box. The box rattles and thumps about as if something within seeks to be freed. It appears that it has been loosened somewhat. Ah! Yeah. Doo-doo-doo. 3 slugs. Thank you very much. Open the wooden box. Old wooden box. Let's see what's in this box. You find a slip of parchment inside the box. If there are answers you would seek, then go to the trading post now. Then to the trading post now go. Before the owner, be not meek. With your 2 feet, provide a show. Okay, dance for Memoroon at Memoroon's trading post. Yep, okay. This part of the quest line is kind of annoying though. I don't really like this. Stupid riddles and rhymes. Okay, Memoroon. I have danced a jolly dance for you. Give me what I want. What is it? What is it that you have? Oh. Ah, now that was most entertaining. I must have something to amuse me during these little jaunts back to civilization. You understand? You asshat. Based on my evaluation of your abilities, however, I calculate that you would arrive at this point somewhat earlier. You balked at the dancing, didn't you? I never expected you to be so shy. Wah! Another variable to add to your list of characteristics. I keep extensive mental notes of all the guild's members, you see. As an Arcanist, it was a simple matter to engineer events so that I might meet you face to face. After all, strategy is a tool used to manipulate one's situation into the desired reality. And I do so enjoy seeing others dance in the palm of my hand, as it were. Look. Here, you may have this. Think of it as payment for your performance. Look. This is a cool looking book. Though you might consider passing the tome on to Kalia, that is the reason you sought me out, was it not? Yes, it was. Before you give Kalia the grimoire, however, I must insist that you dance for her. I will know if you don't. Yawn. All this banal interaction has simply exhausted me. It is time I return to my studies. You, on the other hand, should travel forthwith to the anchor yard in Limsa. Be well, brother. We shall meet again. I'm 100% certain of it. Bye. Lenoska, back to Limsa. Away. For Dex, all the way over here. So, Afcast. Aethernet, Half Castle. That's right, I'm in Limsa. Turn that off. Run. Do-do. Run all the way over here. Kalehia, I have something for you.
Oh.
Were you always one for dancing? I don't recall any such Ah, you have met with our guildmaster, haven't you? Have you met with the guildmaster? Yes, I have. That would explain your odd behavior. He does so enjoy seeing people perform unexpected acts of frivolity. What could have spurred our reticent guildmaster to speak with you in person? This book. The leather binding of this recently crafted tome is uncracked, its pages still crisp. He made you a new book. He gave you this grimoire to give to me. Uncanny, it is identical to the tome I received the first time I ever met our leader. You have my thanks, brother. The guildmaster is fond of games and mischief like the cat he is, and I understand the troublesome trials he likely put you through before deeming you worthy of his attention. With this gift, however, his message to me is abundantly clear. I am to shape reality into the one I desire. And that means defeating Do's Maga. Gods, my mind is alive again with strategies. I must have time to think. Pray inform Mistress of my return to duty. Yes, of course. And run away. Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. The higher line. Endwalker. Or of Twin Worlds. Dan. Organist Guild away! Do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. Blur. Hilea has recovered from our despondency. This is wonderful news, and we have you to thank for it. It is unfortunate, however, that both Kilea and our guildmaster are possessed of such impenetrable personalities. But at least in the case of the Sorcerer, we have an inkling as to the nature of the cage that imprisons her. We continue to hope that our partnership with you shall gradually pry those bars apart. Return to your training, brother, and prepare yourself for the demanding taxes Kilea is sure to formulate in the days ahead. Money! Who did I get a new book? No, but they want me to wear a brand new ring, and I don't wanna. Sinking Do's Maga. Engraved Goatskin Grimoire, Ruin 2, Ruin Mastery, and upgrades Ruin 1 into Ruin 2. Let's go! Yo! Actual upgrades. 28, 24, 24, 25, 28. Yeah, makes sense. Checks out. I've been expecting you, brother. As ever, Kalea's predictions prove accurate almost down to the moment, and our mind is especially sharp with such a dangerous confrontation in the offing. The Yellow Jackets have contacted us with word of Dos Maga. It appears his merchant vessel is presently anchored off the coast of Bloodshore. Once the pirate's business there is concluded, rumor has it that he intends to embark on an extended voyage to the east. Oh, whoops. It will be some time before he returns once more to Limsa Lominsa. If we pass up this opportunity, Kalea will lose her chance to settle the score with Dos Maga, and we risk the Force here stumbling once more into blackest melancholy. Simply getting close enough to Dos Maga will prove difficult. Kalea has, however, already formulated a solution and has set her grand strategy into motion. Your first task in this undertaking is to travel to Costa del Sol and deliver the set of directions to a fisherman by the name of Rilzern. More instructions will be forthcoming. Okay. To the Fisherman's Guild away! Doo-doo. Fisherman's Guild. You! Bring me to Costa del Sol, good sir, for a mere 40 gil. Costa del Sol is... Wee... Seems Limsa finally calmed down. Thinking those maga. You are the fisherman that I must talk to, I presume. Rilzern, how you doing? Catch any fish lately? What is it you want, lad? As you can see, I have me hands full with me fishing. Directives list, a short list of orders drafted by Melvinsgate Assessor Kalea. Thanks for that. I've been told to expect ye. You're here to take one of me errands and deliver it to the cook. One of my herrings, and deliver it to the cook, Opilona. Okay. Let's see. Here. Opilona. Yes, and how might I help you? Master Jijiruju is expecting his breakfast any moment now. Here's the herring. Herring so fresh it still flaps its fins in one final desperate attempt to propel itself from your pack, through the air, and back into the sweet salt water it once called home. A fresh herring? Why, the master does enjoy a bite of broiled fish of a morning. This might even earn me a few extra coins for this week's wages. Well, you have earned yourself one of my homemade eel pies. I should tell you, though, your Canis colleague was quite insistent that you take the pie to Master Jijiruju rather than scoff it down yourself. Okay. Go, bird, go! Master Jijiruju is just here. How you doing? Oh, it brings you to my, and I use the term facetiously, humble, humble abode, dear sir. Such a heavenly aroma. Are you perchance carrying an eel pie about your person? How commendable that you should research the delicacies that tickle my fancy before daring to intrude upon my most ponderous of ponderings. Speaking of ponderous, well, I was speaking of it at least. I have a hefty purse of gold to persuade you to relinquish your claim on that pastry. Homemade eel pie. The culinarian Opilona would have you believe her homemade eel pie is far more delicious than Mother Mion's realm famous handmade eel pie. One moment, if you will. I have been instructed by a Melvinsgate assessor to hand over this message to whoever delivers an eel pie to Master Jijiruju. Oh, well, thank you. Take the purse you receive from Master Jijiruju and hand it to the dancer Eildgith as she prepares to return home. Belaya. Okay. Sure. If you say so. This is getting awfully intricate. Eildgith? Yes, if you're looking for a dancer, then I would first see your coin. I have 3 children to feed and no time to waste on idle chat. Here, a heavy purse, a leather purse filled bursting with gil. Here you go. Oh my, that is quite a purse. My precious darlings will eat like kings this week. And such a simple job as well. I was told to expect you, you see. In return for the coin, I am to give you these. The leather satchel's from your Makote friend, and the pareo is from me. The last item you are to deliver to Drago, the warehouse foreman. Okay. This is such a weird quest line. Why am I running all over the place? Such a weird strategy. Drago! I ain't got time for the likes of you. If you don't got me work squared away soon, the master will have me head on a bike. You got some for me, you say? A well-worn pareo, a colorful undergarment worn for countless summers by the death. Hey now, ain't this Eildgith's pareo? That Makote last said someone would be bringing me a gift when I couldn't refuse, and stick me with a pitchfork if she weren't telling the God's own truth. Here, you're supposed to have this bottle of wine. Take it to the Flying Shark and pour a cup for the sailors what are drinking there. That's what she told me to tell ye, any road. I watch me back if I was you, though, son. Them sailors are the meanest bunch of cutthroats I ever did see. So fucking weird. What in the actual hell? I am so confused. Here, Scrit, you want me to taste... You want me to taste your wine, eh? Well, now I ain't one to pass up free grog. Vintage wine. Wine's so old, no one alive can remember when it was bottled. The cork appears to still be intact. Appears, you say? Limelane's teats! Now that's a bloody fine drop. If we ship this stuff to the east, we'll be selling bottles by the crate. You're coming with us back to the Morning Star. The captain will want to have a word with E. Agree to board the yeah, sure. Bruh. This is so convoluted. There's a good lad, and as for ye, Miss Dancer, ye stick close to all her skrit. Gets damn cold in them long sea voyages. Hee hee hee. Huh? What? Huh? Oh, hey. I'm sorry, this strategy is fucking wild. Shh, we'll talk later. This makes no fucking sense whatsoever. I'm so confused. Well, you know what? If the strategy works, I guess. If it works, it was an effective strategy all along, or something along those lines. You ready then? We'll be off as soon as the boat's loaded. Sure. I just want my Sorcerer Pebble and have it all end at this point. Oh my goodness. It's quiet. Oh, not quiet anymore. Doo-doo-doo. Ah, fine grog and a fine woman. The captain will be pleased with us all. Doo-doo-doo. Pray do not stare so. This was the most expedient method of getting access to the ship. I'll take that satchel from you now. You may have it back after I take the items I need. Okay. Here's the satchel. Yeah, what mischief are you two about? I was merely borrowing some clothes. You don't wish me to catch a chill from this brisk ocean air, would you? You'll be dancing yourself warm once we get ye on the ship, lass. Whee! Water bottle. Do 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 do. You better slip off that ratty robe before you meet the captain. Of course, of course. Do 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 do. Wah! Oh, yeah, she got rid of that real quick. I'll be happy to show him the performance that awaits. Yeah! The bitch Admiral's lapdog, come back for that lesson, have ye? It is I who shall be teaching this day. My lecture will focus on the manipulation of reality through applied strategy. Magic! Book! That's a cool book. Enough of this damn yapping. By the time I'm done with you, you'll remember who your real master is. You won't be suffered to live. Oh no! Oh, that's a lot of dudes. Okay, bop, 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 bop. Oh, he's dead. Brother, this geometry will turn the tide of battle. What geometry? Oh. Oh my goodness, I'm doing a bunch of damage. Can't move out of that. Whoa! Ooh-wee! Go! Emerald Carbuncle, go! Ah! Oh, I should be doing AoE! Ah! Oh, oh no, that's a lot of damage. But I was AoEing, so you're all like really low. So it doesn't matter. Haha! Do-do-do. Do-do-do. Aha! Easy peasy, like. Ye rabid little cur! Aha! Our numbers matter not, it is strategy that will win this battle. Prepare yourself, Dorsmaga. With your defeat, I will cast off the shackles you closed on my soul! You think so, eh? Think your fancy magics are a match for me, Blade? You've got another thing coming! Yeah! Book! The power of book, of knowledge, of strategy! Yeah. Go, Ruby Carbuncle, go! So you can handle a few scrags. Miax will carve you. Oh, whoops, wrong button! Go! Ha! Ha ha! Ah! Hee hee! Go, Carbuncle, go! Yep. Ah! Oh! Aha! Yep, dodge that. Aha, I got a shield! We win! Yay! Fantastic. That was easy. Book. The book is mightier than the blade. Dorsmaga now faces defeat. He will flee to the starboard rail. That's... Starboard is to the right, though, isn't it? Because port is the left, I believe. Obvious next comes his attempt to escape into the sea. You think you're pulling me strings, do ye? Think I'll dance to your tune? Well, I ain't falling for your bloody tricks. Whee! Is at this moment he notices the yellow jackets I had you summon in my explicit instructions to Rosarin. Wait, what? Yo! Yellow jackets! How you doing, boy? How you doing? Hey, victory! You were a fool to return, Dorsmaga. I heard you're fond of shackles, so we brought a set especially for you. Comeuppance! Aha! Aw. Big sad. Sucks to be you. Woo! Yeah! All's well that ends well, it appears. Excuse me. Thus concludes today's lecture. Thank you, brother. This strategy would not have succeeded without your flawless execution. Which suggests that my tactics yet require more work. One must allow for some small deviation in performance. I believe, however, that I now understand why my calculations went awry. It is not enough to wish to shape reality. One must also have a complete understanding of the reality one wishes to obtain. Really now. It is time I sought out our guild master. Yes, of course. No, wait, where are you going? Whee! Wait, she's a master strategist. Obviously, there's a boat waiting for her. Yeah, that's what I thought. Pray convey to Mistress Thrillida for my fondest wishes and my appreciation for all that she has done for me. Okay. The true test of my strategies now begins. Let's go. Goodbye. And then they sail off into the sunset. Yay! Happy ending! Woo! Gain experience. Lanaska. Limza. I know I could take that boat, but meh. I don't feel like it. Aethernet, Arcanist skilled away. Blue. Hey, I've done the thing. Welcome back, brother. There is much I would ask you, but first, may I have the satchel you received during your assignment? Sure. Old leather satchel. The veil of mystery surrounding this otherwise ordinary sack is so thick it could suffocate an Arx. The original owner needs her costume back, you see. I'll make sure everything is returned safe and sound. Now let us speak of Kalea. I am glad to know that she has finally freed herself to pursue her heart's desire. And me a water bottle. And you are to thank for awakening the force here to our self-imposed fetters. The brilliance of Kalehia's strategy served to blind her to her own feelings, and pain me to see her suffer so. Your example may even encourage Kalea to improve her combat abilities, although such will surely come in time. After all, she intends to study under the Guildmaster's direct instruction. Imagine those two obsessive Arcanists and the complexity of the tactics they will develop. It may very well be that your actions in bringing them together will prove the catalyst that sparks a new era of invention in the art of Arcanima. You two should look to the improvement of your discipline if you are to keep pace with all that is certain to follow. To that end, I offer you a new technique, one I pray allows you to more readily drive back your foes on the battlefield. Yay, Ruin 2! And an upgrade. 872. Yay, upgrade! Yeah! Ruin 2! Fantastic. Tales of Magic. Not that one. This one. Austerities of Flame. Summon Ifrit. Ruby summoning mastery. Upgrade summon Ruby to summon Ifrit. Acting Guildmaster has news of a task which might interest you. Really now, greetings, brother. It is well you have come, for we have an intriguing matter to discuss. A request has come to our guild from the Sons of Saint Coinarch, an organization of some of the finest minds in Eorzea. They have asked for you by name. It appears that the research the Sons are currently conducting would benefit from the assistance of an Arcanist, specifically one who has had the tempering experience of defeating the primal Ifrit. Though I must admit to some curiosity as to how these scholars knew the extent of your heroic exploits, I would suppose the source of their knowledge is of little relevance. If you were to answer this request, then you would find your contact, a researcher by the name of Yamitra at Apkalu Falls in the nation of Gridania. Okay, return. Ah, she's the sorcerer teacher lady, not the scholar teacher lady. Got it. Whoops, my bad. Oh well. Aethernet. Lancer's Guild away. So close yet so far. 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes and that stupid crystal is mine. I will have the pebble. My collection grows with every waking moment. Also, I like this blue. This is a very nice shirt. Hello, Yamitra. You're the sister of Y'shtola. You are Brother Creed, I assume. Well met, and thank you for coming. My name, as you have obviously surmised, is Yamitra. I'm a member of the Sons of Saint Coinarch. Ours is a Charlane order that seeks the lost knowledge of the Allegan Empire. And in that regard, we have recently made a singularly important discovery at our dig site in Mordona, which is the tower. We salvaged from the ruins a set of ancient texts describing, the existence of a sect of Allagan mages known as Summoners. These were arcane practitioners said to have the ability to siphon the essence of the primals and manifest the stolen energy as a biddable ally known as an Eggy. Should we succeed in resurrecting such arts, then we might well hold in our hands the power to bring this age of conflict to an end. There is, however, as there always must be, one monumental obstacle to realizing this reality. In order to manifest these obedient incarnations of the Beastman's savage deities, one must first defeat a primal and capture its etheric essence. Thus, only one who can boast such a daunting achievement under his belt may even begin on the path to becoming a summoner. You understand now why I called upon you? Yes, because I defeated Ifrit already. If you wish to contribute to my research, then come to me in the west of Birgot Strike in southern Thanalan. There shall we conduct a ritual of summoning the austerities of flame. Okay. Thanalan away. Forgotten Springs away. Goodbye, Yamitra. See you later. Whee. That reminds me, I didn't look at any of the spells for my Black Mage. That's right, I'm level 30, and this is on level 30 and below. Oh, whoops. Let's see, Blizzard 3 and Fire 3 at level 35. Nice. I get Freeze, Thunder 3, Flare and Ethereal Manipulation, Leyline, Sharpcast, Blizzard 4, Fire 4. Between the Lines, Thunder 4, Triple Cast, Foul, Despair, Umbral Soul, Xenoglossy, High Fire 2, High Blizzard 2, Amplifier, Paradox. What is this? This fire damage to the opponent, 1 fire to target all enemies nearby. Additional effect grants Astral Fire 3 and removes Umbral Ice. Grants enhanced flare. Oh, this is the AoEs. Nice. Paradox. Yo, when are we gonna get Ultima as a Black Mage? I want to be able to cast Ultima. I think that'd be cool. I want to be able to cast Ultima. No idea what it would do. Maybe Ultima Zero, Ultima Light, Ultima Diet. Austerities of Flame, forgotten but not gone. Ah, yeah, that's right. Yeah, Scholar. I forgot about Scholar. Oh, this is in the middle of fucking nowhere. Okay. Yamitra. Greetings to you once more, brother. I had a feeling this unique opportunity would be nigh impossible for you to ignore. Let's proceed directly to the ritual, shall we? According to the records we recovered, the summoners of old would perform these rites in a land in which the naturally dominant element matched the aspect of the avatar they wished to call forth. Only in such a place might one sufficiently shift one's etheric balance in the desired direction. The element of fire is especially strong here in the Sogoli Desert. I can think of no land more fitting in which to summon an incarnation of the Lord of the Inferno. Before we begin, I must insist that you accept this gem. It may appear of little worth, but within its faceted depths dwell the memories of long-deceased summoners. Really now. Now you must focus. Visualize the ether flowing through you, a vibrant current of energy transforming into living fire. Hold this image in your mind, and the raging heat of your life force shall spawn an Eggy wreathed in flames. Be aware, however, that this nascent entity will appear before you unbound and hostile. It is your charge to overpower the Avatar and establish yourself as its master. The path of the summoner is not, if not fraught with peril. Proceed! How else am I supposed to get that pebble? I want the pebble. Okay, let's do this. Pebble, activate! Yo! Grumpy! Ifrit Eggy! Carbuncle, why aren't you here? Flame Shiver? I send the sprites to do its bidding. Have care they do not surround you. Crimson Nails? The shatter of the Crimson Nails, they amplify the Eggy's power. Yeah, just a little bit. Doot. 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 Ah, run away. Just a kiting battle, ain't it? Ah, that's right. I unsummoned Carbuncle when I swapped to Black Mage. Whips. Aha! I win! Am I victorious? Crimson Nails are destroyed. Yay! Most impressive, brother. The Fireborn Eggy has submitted to your will. You have mastered the austerities of flame, and that is no small feat. Pray, let us return to Apkalu Falls that we might further discuss your achievement. Okay. Not Lenoska, the Black Shroud. Yes. Whee! Come on. Come on, give me the pebble. I want the pebble. Oh, I'm so close to having the pebble. 2 more pebbles to my collection, come on. I want all the pebbles. Every pebble. Every single pebble will be mine. Even Blue Mage. Yeah, Blue Mage. Let's go. Ymitra? This is truly a momentous occasion. You have rescued the lost art of summoning from the grasping mire forgotten history, but you must know more of the avatar you have bound. In the ancient tongue of the Allegan Empire, it would be known as Ifrit Iggy, where Iggy translates approximately to pure, or the essence of. In short, you have tamed a willful manifestation of Ifrit's raging fires. As you might expect from an entity born of the Lord of the Inferno, this avatar and its capacity for destruction should serve you well in your battles to come. With such an ally at your command, it is not too soon to take upon yourself the title of Summoner. You've proven yourself more than worthy of the soul crystal you now possess. Yet be that as it may, the road before you is long and arduous. If you would triumph in this age of conflict, you must needs master more than just the Eggy of fire. I suggest you next fix your gaze upon claiming a servant of unyielding stone. You once seized victory against the Primal Titan, did you not? Though I admit I am eager to progress directly to the Osterites of Earth, you must be careful not to overtax your reserves of strength. Rest well, and spend some time to grow accustomed to your newfound abilities. Once you feel prepared to continue with our historic research, you will find me here awaiting your arrival with barely constrained impatience. Yay, level 35. Summon Ifrit complete. Yay. Summoner unlocked. Whoa, you learn how to summon Ifrit Eggy! Yay! Summoner. Trance gauge expanded. Trance gauge. The trance gauge indicates the time remaining for the effects of Aether Charge. So again, this action will contribute Chem to as I can. Blah 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 blah. Okay. Get this off my screen. Swift cast. Resurrection. This here, put it there. This up there. Just brilliance. There. Put this up here. Get that away. Swap that there. There. Up. Up. Gumshine. Precious brilliance. Attack multiple enemies. There we go. Fantastic. Ruin 3. Summon Titan. Pain Flare. AoE Fester. Summon Garuda. Energy Siphon. Additional effect, Aether Flow 2. Shares a recast time with energy drain. Deals an aspect with potency of 100 target. So, AoE energy drain. Rune 3, that's just an upgrade. Dreadworm Trance. Enters Dreadworm Trance. Changes Rune 3 to Astral Impulse and Outburst to Astral Flare. Grants Ruby Arcanum totals Arcanum and Emerald Arcanum. Astral Flow. Channel the energies of your active trance to perform one of several actions. Action changes to Death Flare. Ooh. Summon Bahamut! Enkindle Bahamut Tri-Disaster. Summon Ifrit 2. Summon Titan 2. Summon Garuda 2. Astral Impulse. Astral Flare. Death Flare. Wyrm Wave. Akmorn. Ruby Right. Topaz Right. Emerald Right. Mountain of Fire. Brand of Purgatory. Summon Phoenix. Everlasting Flight. Rekindle Scarlet Flame. Enkindle Phoenix. Revelation. Ruby. What the hell? What? Crimson. Why is there so much stuff in for this class? Oh my goodness. Okay, so, but the real question is, what black magic sorcery is this? Oh, it's summoner, not sorcerer. Ah. This makes me incredibly sad. Ah, yes. Forgotten but not gone. I need to be an Arcanist for this. Ooh, the airship landing away. Limsa, please. Yes. Why did I think they were called a sorcerer? They're not sorcerers, they're summoners. Ooh, the Bulwark Hall, please. Yes. Okay, then I have to go over here. At Arcanist Guild. Arcanist Guild. Oh, nope. Nope, not today. Not today, Limsa. What are you? Forgotten but not gone. Soul of the Scholar. Add Loquium. Still targets HP. Cure potency 300. Additional effect grants Galvanize to target, nullifying damage equaling 125% of the amount of HP restored. When critical HP restored, also grants Catalyze, nullifying damage equaling 125% the amount of HP restored. Okay. And with that, the stream has come to an end. Job's done. Not job's done. Intermission. Yeah. Because we did everything we wanted. We got it. We got the Black Mage Soul Crystal, and we got the Summoner Soul Crystal. So, yep. That's it for today. Pretty good progress, if you ask me. I mean, I like to think it was pretty good progress anyway. So, you know, do the viewer stuff. Follow. Check out my Twitch panels, all that neat stuff. And until next time, goodbye.